What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media, and we are back for another edition of the AEW Dynamite Post Show. I am your host, Chase, CR Media. This is my co-host, Dustin, Mr. Midwest. Dustin, how you doing this week, sir?
I'm killing it, man. I'm alive and kicking every single day. How you doing this week, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. The holidays are right behind us. We're pushing into the new year, getting ready for 2023, and Dustin is dead. I killed him. He's locked in my basement. Uh,
I don't know what happened there. That was that was weird. All right.
You're good.
Welcome to life, I guess. Uh, what's up,
So,
Jay? What's up, Hunter?
yeah.
How y'all doing today?
All right, good. Yeah, appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, the share button, hit the notification bell so you never miss anything from Mr.
Yeah.
Midwest or myself. Guys, we are live on CR Media's Twitch. We are also live on Mr. Midwest's Twitch. And then also, we are live on Sports Empire Network's YouTube page and Facebook page. If you guys are not familiar with Sports Empire Network, make sure you go check them out on Facebook and on YouTube, on all forms of social media. Sports Empire Network is taking over the globe, growing. 2022 was a great year for Sports Empire Network. We're kicking off into 2023 with a big bang. And speaking of big bang in Sports Empire Network, guys, SeatGeek, SeatGeek.com. If you guys like to go to fun activities like sporting events, wrestling events, concerts, football games, whatever the case may be. If it's a ticket and you buy it on SeatGeek, guess what? I got a special code for you. Use SEN for Sports Empire Network, and you're going to get 20% off of your first purchase with SeatGeek.com. So make sure you check that out. I use SeatGeek.com for my WrestleMania tickets. Save me a bunch of money. So cannot wait to go to Los Angeles in at the end of March for WrestleCon slash WrestleMania. So definitely check out SeatGeek.com. No matter what you're doing, whether you're going to WrestleMania, whether you're going to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, whether you're going to go see a concert, no matter what it is. Like I said, use promo code SEN for Sports Empire Network on SeatGeek.com. Save you some money. Um, Dustin, man, do me a humongous favor.
What's up?
Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and what
Well,
you've got going on.
that is relatively simple. I don't know why it's not showing up. Probably because you have that thing up.
Oh, yes, it is. Let me move that.
But
Good call, brother.
there it is, right here. I was already pointing at it. Perfect, right there. Mr. Midwest 99, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. That's where I am primarily at right now. Thinking about dabbling a little bit into the YouTubes. Not sure yet. We'll see. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But that's where I'm at. Wherever you want to find me. Um, so feel free to come hang out, hit me up, whatever. Yeah, there it is. There is one thing I want to touch on though, real quick, is Hunter's comment of the skip card will not be whipped out as much as last week. That is factual. That is very factual.
I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed the show this week. Because I was going to say I quite enjoyed the show too. There was very little that I could complain about. But and we'll get into that. Do me a favor, Dustin. Let me know. Give me an overall grade for tonight's show. What would you give tonight's show?
Just a second. I don't know if it's your mic, my headset, or what it is, but you were coming in like really robotic.
Am I?
Yeah. Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
Raz is saying
That's
this.
me.
Okay. I did catch enough of that to be able to give you. You asked for the overall grade of tonight's show. If we were comparing it solely to last week, it'd be a 10. But in all reality, I give this one probably a 6 or a 7. It was a nice bounce back from last week. It was definitely, it seemed like a much more put together and comprehensive show. It was easier to follow. I didn't feel like it was all over the place. Match quality was there tonight. It was on it. Um, Even the best of seven, we all know I've been pretty sour on that as of late. But it was still a good. They still I like the ending to that match, and we'll get into that later as we deep dive into each section of the show and we tear it apart. Um, but yeah, it was. I give it like a 6.5. We'll say
Okay. How's my audio?
still the same. Have you tried
Yes.
turning it off and then back on again?
Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. What about now?
Better.
Cool.
Now, for me, I don't know how it showed up for you, but for me, your lips and your words are not matching up. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
fine. Yeah. That's fine. All right.
oh, never mind. Maybe
Maybe.
I don't know.
We're
Okay,
gonna
they're pretty
go.
close. They're pretty close.
We're gonna go with it. I would be comfortable with a 6 as well. Maybe a 6.5 for tonight's show. I would say, like I said, much better, much better than last week. Um, God, go
That one's you,
fuck
Chase.
on. Yeah, I know. Anyways, yeah, sure, why not? We'll leave it on there. I don't know if I. Yeah, get him, Josh. Get him, Josh. Where's my mods at? Josh, Scott, where you guys at? Get the Naka 4chan 88, yeah, or whatever however the hell you say that. Get him.
Honest.
You
It's
you
probably his
raggedy
eighth account.
bitch. Yeah.
You raggedy bitch. You a
um.
big motherfucker.
Hey,
I'm not gonna say that there's a direct correlation, but last week's show was not that great, and this week's show is pretty decent. And there was no Rick Ross segment this week. I'm not saying that's the reason why.
I
Just
mean,
saying. Wanted to point
we
out
still
that.
had, and we still had a swerve. Uh, we still had a swerve segment too. So
Mike's doing it again.
is it okay? Hey, let's do this. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. All right, look at this. It's my show now. All right, y'all. I don't even know what to do here now. Chase usually runs this a lot better than I do, and now I'm on top. Yeah. Whoo.
What about now?
It's working good now. We'll see.
All right, cool, awesome. Usually that's the thing is I usually have to refresh, but I don't. I hate having to refresh in the middle of the stream. But oh well, it is what it is. So let's break this thing down and let's get right into it, man. We started off the night with Brian Danielson against Ethan Page with Stokely Hathaway.
Right into that, and
yep.
Let's call spades a spade here. They're both extremely talented wrestlers. You just looked at it on paper and you're like, all right, yeah, that's gonna be a good one, and that's exactly what it was. It was a good match. It was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. So I can't say really much about it. It was Ethan Page and it was Brian Danielson. They're both extremely gifted in the ring. They did a great job in the ring, and I just got a raid from the dad trainer. Thank you.
There you go.
So much, DT. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. If you are not in my chat,
then dad trainer. Yeah, we see it. We see it with the combined chats, man.
Yeah, you can see it with the combined chats, but there's a little shout out for him that's going to pop up on my stream at least. It should.
Yep. It should pop up on your Twitch.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely, guys.
Check this man out.
Appreciate dad trainer. Pumpkin Spice Daddy. Is that what that was? Did I read
Yep,
that right?
Pumpkin
Pumpkin
Spice
Spice Daddy.
Daddy.
I like it. I
Um,
don't hate it. I
and
like it.
I don't know why he has to do this. I don't know why Viking has to keep doing this. He has to come in here and ruin the vibe every time. Stop ruining the vibe, man.
Well,
But thank you
it's
so
either
much,
him.
ET, for the raid,
It's
man.
either him or Clown Prince.
Well, yeah, yeah, no. But if you guys are not, if you guys like eFeds, if you guys like wrestling, Pokemon, he's big on Pokemon. I know nothing about it, but if you like it, that's your place to go. Twitch.tv/the Dad Trainer. That is your man right there. Good friend of mine. Love that man to death. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. Dad Trainer also runs his own eFed, the
DTX,
DTX. Yep.
in which I am the
Uh,
Ultra Violence champion, and amongst the circle, I am the tag team champions. Freebird rules.
the
So
ultra, the ultra
Ultra
violence.
Violence champion. Yeah. Speaking of DTX, Chase, we had a little bit of a tag match, the Messiahs of Chaos in the circle, as in me and Clown Prince tagged up against you guys, and
Interesting.
we whooped that ass. And
Oh,
if I
okay.
do remember correctly, my memory is not that great, but I believe it was me who pinned you for the 1, 2, 3.
Interesting. Interesting. Well,
Um,
you
so
can't win them. You
there's
can't win
that.
them all. You
Absolutely.
can't win them all,
I
is what
mean,
they say.
especially when you go up
Um,
against, a competent tag team. Anyway,
yeah.
with that being said, Clown did make a very valid
The
point.
same, the same competent tag team that got their asses
No,
whooped in PEW.
no, it's not, because the one
It's not.
that you got your ass whooped in DTX by is me and Clown Prince. The one that you got
Oh,
lucky and
okay.
beat, which by the way you didn't pin me,
Twice. Twice.
was me and JMO. By the way, you didn't pin me.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well, JMO, uh, damn, I feel sorry for JMO because I mean you literally just buried the guy right here on this show.
hey, I'm just calling a spade a spade. But yes, I have to acknowledge this real quick. Yes, Clown also whooped your ass a little bit. But yes, he is the DTX World Champion, and the Dad Trainer is the DTX Intercontinental Champion. So we hold all of the gold on Tuesday nights, and that is how it's going to stay until such time as we decide we don't want to, which will
Nice,
probably
nice.
be never. All right.
All right, guys. So we, really quick, want to give a huge shout out. Explanation point: the Dad Trainer in my chat. If you guys, what will happen? We'll bring up Dad Trainer's Twitch stream. If you guys are not following Dad Trainer, make sure you guys do so. Dad Trainer does a lot of fun stuff with his kids on there with Pokemon, and then his community. Boom, there it is, right there. I want to face Chase for custody of Midwest. Let's do it. Book it. Book it. if,
I'm not
if
Dom.
if
I'm much
Jackie
better
if
than that.
Jackie is in this chat right now, Jackie, I need that match on Monday night. I need me and Clown Prince. If Clown Prince is in the if Clown
He's
Prince
not
is
on Monday nights. He's on Tuesday nights for
whatever.
PEW.
Make a swap. Make a
See,
swap.
so here's my thing. I'm not feeling very moist right now, so I don't think he's around. And then Axel with an interesting factoid: the FTR lost the AAA tag titles, and I am now very sad. So I'm gonna go cry
Why are you sad?
it's FTR, man. They're my boys.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, don't you want to see FTR in
I want to see FTR
uh
everywhere. I want to turn on my screen, and every time I do, I want to see FTR on my screen.
gotcha, okay.
I don't care
That
where it's
makes
at. Midwest on a forklift match. I'm on a pole. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why this is a thing. Um, and Axel could take that negativity bullshit of IWGP is next to fuck on somewhere.
yeah.
I mean, Steven, yeah, they're probably right. Like, Steven and Axel are probably correct.
Yeah. I don't know this what it looks like, but I still don't see FTR going that way. But let's kind of let's kind of get back on track here. Get back to AEW Dynamite. Bryan Danielson, Ethan Page. Um, I I thought it was a very good match. I know there's a lot of people who are sour on, you know, um, Page and how he's been handled. I think this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, it doesn't hurt Page at all losing to Bryan Danielson, who is one of the best in the world. I don't think, and I definitely don't think that Bryan Danielson, you know. Uh, I understand that people, are a little upset that Bryan Danielson's going to go and lose another big match to MJF, and fine, and we can kind of dig into that eventually. Um, uh, but like I said, I I dug the match, and I think that even with Ethan Page getting knocked out before he even applied the submission, like I said, I don't think that's, you know, I don't think it hurts Ethan Page at all.
Yeah,
What do
it's
you think?
yeah. I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier before the raid happened and everything got off the rails. But yeah, it was a great match. It was a great match. I wouldn't. It didn't really hurt Ethan Page, but it was kind of a win that I felt that Ethan Page needed. Ethan Page is kind of in my book is kind of due for a win. And maybe it's something that's going to happen next week. Maybe something's going to happen some other time. I don't know. And yeah, it's a great match. Absolutely, like it did not hurt Ethan Page's stock. He went at it with Danielson, and it was stunner of a match, and he held his own. That's all you can really ask out of an up and coming guy like Ethan Page to do with a almost certified legend. Yeah, Steven, absolutely he does. They do. I've been saying that for a hot minute now, and they finally starting to use him more. So I'm taking what I can get for right now with that. Um, so we're getting him on our screen more. Maybe a couple more wins. I think he's earned those. So that's just me. Can't hear you, Jason.
I do that every single time I cough. I mute myself and I forget to unmute myself. Anyways, I 1,000% agree. I didn't do a fucking thing.
No, you still heard
No.
that? Damn.
So
Can you hear me?
yeah, so that means
What?
that's you're not using that microphone. You're using another microphone.
That's really
Change
dumb.
your change your settings really quick. Are you on a
I'm
laptop?
no, I'm on my PC.
Okay.
I'm really annoyed by that.
Yeah, hit the settings button down here and see if you can change your input to that microphone.
Ah, okay. I see what it's doing now. That's all right. Well, okay. Now,
I'll tell you what, we can hear you a lot better now. A lot better. I can't hear you at all right now because you're muted.
Cool.
But
All right, that makes sense. So now I'm no longer using the microphone on my fucking camera, which apparently has a microphone. Color me surprised. Now I'm using a fucking HyperX podcast. No wonder my audio's been sounding like dog shit. Fucking hell. This is
you sound
embarrassing.
no,
This
it's
is-
not. No,
this
it's
is
not. It
embarrassing.
happens. It was just hilarious because I've got the same. I don't have a HyperX, but I've got the same type of microphone where you tap
You
on
just-
it and it mutes it. And when I watched you do it and then you coughed, I was like, "Well, that didn't do anything."
Yeah, it's fucking. I didn't even know this fucking camera had a microphone.
Yeah, man, that was great.
I quit.
That was great.
Just...
Hey, so I want to circle back around. Scott mentioned that Dragon Lee announced that he's on his way back to WWE.
Yes, Matt Word Games also said that in my chat. Yeah.
So
I don't know
I'm
what to say.
confused. Well, because I'm confused because I don't remember who Dragon Lee was in WWE.
Was he ever in WWE?
Well, he said that he was on his way back to WWE, so that's why I was like,
Well, so Raz's comment. I'm assuming that's who Scott is.
"Yep."
Is Dragon Lee has announced he's going to WWE, and
Oh, okay. I thought it
comment
said
was
going.
WWE just signed Dragon Lee. So
Yeah, no, okay. I thought Scott
after
said
winning
going
the
back to
AAA
WWE.
titles from FTR,
Yeah.
which again, sad boy hours for me.
Okay.
He's Rush's brother. That's why it sounded familiar. He's going to NXT Europe. Okay, so that'll be next year.
He said is Dragon Lee going to NXT?
Probably not. I think NXT Europe is next year, 2025.
I thought it was 2023.
Is it 2023? I don't know. I don't. They've as many times I've been told multiple times by multiple people that WWE should just hire me to book stuff now, and they won't. I've actually put in an application to WWE to be a booker, and I did not hear back from them. I wonder why. Hey, look, I was fucking around. I was scrolling around on Indeed, and I typed in WWE just for shits and gigs. I seen it there. I was like, fuck it, shoot my shot, see what fucking happens. Right? What's the worst that can happen? What happened, and they don't say nothing to me, or best case scenario, I get a reply back and I can go work in the WWE. Like, I mean,
worst case scenario, you admit it in public, and we all laugh at you.
You can laugh all you want. I mean,
I know, I'm just kidding.
Maybe because of the mic issues, they didn't hire you. Wow, Scott, I thought we were becoming friends. I thought we were friends. Wow. Fucking tough crowd, man.
Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight and hanging out with us.
All right.
We're breaking down AEW Dynamite right now. She's when I say she, we get to a point where and I skipped over this video package.
I'm feeling moist,
a video
boys.
package.
Jacobite Games is in the house.
There you go.
It just got real moist up in here.
Oh.
What's up, Jackie?
I'll
never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay.
No, it's EFID shit.
So, video package for the main event tonight between Samoa Joe and Wardlow.
Mods take care of that.
Yeah. Good Lord. They are out in troves tonight. Jesus. Anyways, Renee Paquette is interviewing Wardlow. Samoa Joe comes through and hits Wardlow in the leg with the lead pipe. Probably one of my least favorite things from tonight was this spot. And the reason why is because I don't know if you saw or not, but it didn't even look like he hit Wardlow with that pipe on the knee.
So for me, it's like the initial one, yeah, it didn't look like it, but on the second one, it looked like he kind of clipped it. Nothing.
Yeah. But when he came into the screen, it looked like I don't know, it just looked super awkward. It wasn't.
Yeah. It was kind of a weird thing, but obviously, I obviously don't think they're actually going to let Samoa Joe full sprint ahead and bust Wardlow with a fucking knee with a lead pipe. I
Oh
think,
yeah, absolutely.
I think like they value Wardlow's kneecap being in the center of his knee and not on the side of it enough that they're not going to do that. Because let's be honest, Joe's not a little dude. And if he ran full speed and smacked somebody in the knee with a pipe, that knee is no longer working. That
Yeah.
knee is done. Finito. No mas. I'll get to Hunter's thing suplex. I don't even know if Hunter could pick me up. That's if he can, then more power to you to go ahead and try.
Hunter's a
But
big dude.
so am I.
No, I mean like Hunter's like 6'3".
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean like
I mean, I'm
it's just one of
6
the
foot, 220 pounds, and from what it sounds like is since he's taller than me, standing switch, and then I dump him on his head.
uh so we go to a commercial break after that segment with Wardlow and Samoa Joe. We go backstage with Hangman. Oh, he's 6'4".
All right, fair enough, Hunter. You might be able to.
Yeah.
Might.
So we go back and we get Renee Paquette in the backstage area again, but this time she's with a doctor and the Dark Order and Hangman Page. The doctor says we're 2 weeks away from Hangman being cleared, and Hangman desperately wants to fight John Moxley. There was an awkward pause when they were talking about when Renee brought up Moxley to Hangman, or Hangman insinuated that Renee had, an investment in the situation. So, very, very interesting, to say the least.
It's
We keep getting digs at Renee being,
Mox's wife.
Mox's wife. So,
yeah, it's gonna be kind of nice because obviously they're doing a good job of building this story actually without like too much going on of it's just little things of Hangman every time he hears Mox is even within 100-mile radius of him, he's ready to go. And they're kind of building that to be like the definition of an on-site thing. Like that's what they're saying is like there's so much hatred for Hangman to Mox that on site.
Yep. And we're gonna get like a brawl between them. Steven Chambers says looks like Revolution. It's going to be. I could see that, and then I could see after Revolution, Moxley dipping out
For sure.
For a vacation.
You mean the one he was going to take after, what was it, All Out, and then all that happened, and Mox had to not take his vacation, and so now he's hopefully finally getting his vacation?
Yes. I think we're finally going to get to see Mox, get a vacation, be able to take some time off, which is nice. We got Hook versus, Balaam Lynx. And, before we move on, I'm sorry, I completely skipped over the tag team match that happened after the promo with Hangman. And that's John Moxley and Claudio versus Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin. I thought it was very good. I thought it was very, very awesome for them to give Mox and Claudio to give Top Flight some offense in this and to let them hang and let them go for a little bit. I thought the four in the ring looked very, very good together.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of missed the end of that match. Not gonna lie to you. I was in the process of getting home and alternating from my phone to an actual TV to watch because I was just getting out of work at that time. So I kind of missed that end of the match there. But so I believe Mox and Claudio won. Sorry. Wow. And yeah, so good match from the parts that I've seen. And to go off of what Scott's saying right there with they have a great future if Darius stays healthy. And I think that I genuinely believe that had Mox and Claudio just squashed Darius and Dante, it wouldn't have went over very well with a lot of fans because there's a lot of people out there who like those guys. So I don't know how well it would have went over if it was just a squash match, but yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it a lot. Both teams can do a lot. I thought the pairing of Mox and Claudio was kind of interesting for me. I didn't really see that pairing coming out of the BCC at any point, but hey, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I know we just mentioned and I know Steven kind of brought it up as well of us looking at possibly getting a Mox versus Hangman at Revolution. I would be honest with you, man. I don't know if it makes it to that. I could see that's what you get for knocking shit over.
It's just my MTT bottles that I haven't thrown out yet.
I'm just kidding. So I don't know, man. Like I said, that there was that final goodbye, so to speak, from William Regal, and I think that with that ominous message that they were going to have to keep eyes in the back of their head, I think that's foretelling us that somebody is going to wind up turning on one of them, and I could see it being Mox right before he takes time off. Or I could see Mox turning on Claudio and we get Claudio versus Mox at Revolution. Not Hangman. I don't know if I'm looking at those three guys or those four guys. Right now, Brian doesn't fit the the criteria for somebody who's ready to turn on somebody. So you've got Claudio, Mox, and Yuta. I don't see it being Yuta, and I don't see it being Claudio. Mox is my strong gut feeling choice. If it is to happen,
Right.
and if it happens, I think that because it's just weird to me that Mox would go out for a vacation on on a high note, on a positive note.
On the flip side, I don't think it'll be before the vacation. I think it'll be after the vacation.
You think so?
Yeah, because it gives the promo that he'll cut afterwards. Of like he took this time off, and he sat down. And he thought about AEW. He thought about his career. He thought about this and that. And when he came back, he realized he needed that that BCC wasn't on his level, and he didn't want to surround himself with people below him, type thing. So I think that it could very well be they go into the vacation on a high note, and when he comes back, that's when they do it. That would make more sense to me because I don't understand sending somebody out after a heel turn. Because all the heat and everything that comes with a heel turn when done properly, there's only so much time you have to capitalize on that before it just kind of levels out. So I think that it'll happen after Mox takes time off, which he's definitely earned. I'm not gonna. We keep mentioning it. And I wanted to say that he's earned that.
1,000%.
So for sure.
So if he takes time off, I think it's going to be at least 3 months, max 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But I like the 3 month sweet spot for me.
Yeah. The 3 months. Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. It just makes more sense in my head for it to be after the vacation.
so here's what I was thinking. I was thinking if we get it in the next 2 weeks when him and Hangman, because him and Hangman are going to face each other sometime in between now and 2 to 3 weeks, right? So if we get it on if we get Mox versus Hangman on a special on Dynamite, and Mox tries to severely hurt Hangman, and then Claudio steps in, and then Mox turns on Claudio, then we could look at getting. Then we have enough time to build for Claudio versus Mox. The only thing I would say is if you wait until after he comes back, I don't think the Blackpool Combat Club lasts that long. I think they're done by then.
Um.
Uh,
So
I,
that's
I'll be honest with you. Without Regal, I don't see that group lasting another 3 months. That's why I think we see Mox do it before he leaves.
so. Here's my thought process. Here's what I would do if I was in charge. Right. Um. Again, I'm not. I have no say so whatsoever in these shows, despite how many people have told me I should. But here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll do. I would have I'd have the Hangman Mox match put off until Revolution. It's a big enough match that on a pay-per-view it would make sense. Um Storyline wise, this is how you can handle that. Hangman being so determined to hurt Mox, he succeeds. Something nothing major, but he hurts Mox that, and then you storyline wise explain his vacation of Mox being away. During that time, you kind of get Brian Danielson kind of roping the troops back together. Without Mox, without Regal, somebody has to be that figure, and it has to be Danielson. Yep. So he kind of brings everybody back together. When Mox comes back, Mox takes issue with Danielson acting like he's the leader of the BCC. It's kind of the callback to what happened between Regal and Mox after Full Gear. So I'm just dying over here. It's all right.
It's okay. It's a weather change, man. I've been dealing with it.
Yeah, too. It's especially for me because I've went through different states in this time. So it's kind of like I'm getting everybody's shit. So yeah. But it's I foresee them kind of doing the callback to Danielson stepping in between Mox and Regal after Full Gear. And we kind of go from there. I think that would make sense storyline wise in my head. Of Hangman hurts him. Hangman succeeds in what he wants to do, and that's hurt Mox. It's a fair statement. Mox leaves. He gets his vacation. He gets his time off that he's earned. He comes back. Then you start that, that heel turn, the gradual heel turn thing that they can do with Mox of, Danielson telling him to do something, and Mox like, "Who the hell do you think you are, dude?" Just kind of like the side-eyed looks, the ignoring what he's saying to do. But they have to establish Danielson as the head of the BCC. And the time that Mox is gone, they have to establish that hierarchy and make it very clear that that's Danielson's role. Yep. And then I think that then you get the turn more so on Danielson than Yuta or Claudio. And then it's kind of then they kind of have to pick a side. And I think that if you're going to split the BCC, that's a good time to do it. Because if you look at it this way, Mox brought Wheeler in. It was Mox who brought Wheeler in through that fucking nasty, amazing match that those two had. And Danielson brought Claudio in. to replace him for Blood and Guts and for Anarchy at the Arena. Or no, after Anarchy at the Arena, my bad. To kind of replace him
Forbidden
there.
Door.
Yeah, Forbidden Door. That's what it was. And so you kind of have those two. And then obviously you have Wheeler and Claudio not really wanting to fight each other because they have no issue, but they're siding with the man who brought them to AEW or who brought them into the BCC. So I think you could get some good long-term storytelling there.
Absolutely. Whichever way it goes, it's going to be very interesting to see how they or if they because I mean we're all assuming that Mox is going to be able to take his vacation here sooner rather than later. You know, I mean, like I said, we're assuming. You know, for all we know, they could turn around and be like, "Yeah, no, sorry, Mox, you're not leaving." You know, they're not going to grant him. They could not grant him his vacation for another 8-9 months, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's kind of fun to kind of get into that and kind of see what happens, you know, if or when Mox takes times off and he's ready to come back. So, with that being said, with people coming back, we have seen Kip Sabian, who you know, unfortunately is injured right now, is not cleared to compete, but he's still getting TV time, which is great for him. You know, I thought Kip was one of those, you know, one of those really strong pieces of AEW starting out. You know, he was, you know, storyline wise, he was responsible for bringing in Miro, the best man, and him and Penelope Ford. You know, he had a great, you know, singles run before he got injured, and I know he's kind of had the injury bug the past couple of years. You know, he's back on TV. He's got a new look. You know, haven't seen him wrestle much because, like I said, still dealing with a lingering injury. However, you know, we had a backstage segment with them, and you know, Orange Cassidy made the comment about challenging anybody, and for whatever weird ass reason, a challenge got thrown out to Trent, who's part of the Best Friends, and they're going to fight for the All Atlantic Championship on Rampage. I thought I thought this was very weird, but you know, I kind of dug how they.
Man,
Uh oh gosh, he went down. Oh, he's
I'm
back to
having a
green.
little bit of
He went down.
I
You're
don't
fine.
know. I don't know what's going on.
You're good. You're going from red to green on the bars over there on the side. Uh but kind of just to kind of get the get this or keep this going while hopefully Dustin's internet kind of gets back to full strength. Um
It
you
looks like
know,
it's kind of stabilizing now.
Yep. Kip, you know, Kip had brought in Trent Seven from, you know, from WWE, who was a part of Mustache Mountain, who I was very, very upset to see leave WWE. I was hoping that he would stay in form or do something in NXT. Obviously, he's here in America, so you know, didn't see a reason why he left WWE. But you know, in AEW debuts with Kip. Now we're, you know, like I said, we're just lingering on and trying to, you know, prolong this issue between Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy so much now that we're getting Kip Sabian,
Yeah.
or I mean, we're getting Orange Cassidy versus Trent on Rampage for the All Atlantic Championship.
Man. Yeah. I think that I think they're doing this because Kip's going to take the title from him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I genuinely think that I don't see another reason why they'd prolong it like this if he wasn't. So I think what they're doing is they're just trying to give Orange Cassidy, you know, X amount of title defenses before he drops it. So I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'd be extremely excited about it. Like I said, I was big on Kip when AEW started. I thought he had a great presence to him. Was really good in ring. You know, that was not really bad on the stick. So you know, I'm all for it. Like I said, I just want to see maybe Kip stay a little bit healthy since that injury, since he's been struck with that injury bug. Um, So the match I jumped the gun on earlier, we're finally at now. Hook versus Balaam Lynx. You know, Hook
Squash
came
match.
in. Yep, squash match. And Stokely Hathaway, who we got to see twice tonight. Anytime
Always
we get
good.
to see Stokely, anytime we get to see Stokely Hathaway more than once on one show, I am all for it. But Hook gets him in the Red Rum submission, and then of course, like I said, we get Stokely Hathaway and Lee Moriarty and William Morrissey. I refuse to call him Big Bill. Hit the ring, and then this time we see Jungle Boy come out for the save, and this time Jungle Boy has an equalizer. Um, I'm very very big on I'm very very big on Jungle Boy and Hook. I think they're two great guys for the AEW brand, and going forward and whatnot. I think they're super over with the crowd. However, the problem I have with this is Hook hits the ring a couple weeks ago. No weapons, no nothing. And everybody, these 4 or 5 guys that were in the ring, scatter because of one Hook. And I know we're supposed to believe that Hook is like super badass, and I get it. But Jesus Christ, dude, like 4 guys, like come on, man. But this week, Jungle Boy has to hit the ring with a 2x4. Jungle Boy's not as bad as Hook. He can't clear the ring by himself. He's got to bring a weapon. So I don't know. That just kind of bugged me a little bit.
I like kind of what they did there. They established Hook as a no fuck given guy, and like him just standing there, staring up at Morrissey like he did. He just kind of stood there and stared up at him. Can't say he really stared him down because he has to look up. And the other thing that I liked that they did there was, Jungle Boy hit the ring after Morrissey kind of said "fuck you" to the T-bone suplex.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. I will keep talking though because I like to talk. I like to hear the sound of my voice, and apparently Hunter does as well. So I'm just gonna keep finding random things to say while we wait for him to come back, and I'll continue my train of thought. Hopefully, I don't forget it. So yeah. Hook looks like a midget standing up to Big Bill. Yeah, you're not wrong. Kip needs a win for sure. They see Orange versus Dustin. I wouldn't be mad at that. Sean Spears not returning to AEW. May see him back to WWE Royal Rumble as Ty Dillinger. Maybe not. Hey, Ashfield, what's up, man? And Chase is back? Question mark.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Indeed.
But yeah, so after Morrissey was like, "We ain't doing this T-bone suplex thing." How about no? They had Jungle Boy actually hit the ring and hit him with a 2x4 3 times. And with the exception of like a split second of Bill going down to a knee, he stood there. And I kind of like that. It is like, it established, that Morrissey's, he's that dude. He's that big dude who it doesn't matter what you hit me with. Good luck. You ain't big enough, boy. Ashfield, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. If I get this damn cough to go away, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, man. I really like how they're doing that for Morrissey as well. I just, like I said, like it kind of was a head scratcher to me because it's like, okay, Jungle Boy hits the ring with a 2x4, whacks you with it 3 times, and you ain't going. It's really hard for you to go down. Hook hits the ring 2 weeks ago, and you scatter like a cockroach when you turn on the lights. Like,
and it could be, because we didn't really have the full. It kind of panned to them, and then we seen them kind of get out of the ring, It panned to Hook, and then we seen him kind of get out of the ring. So it could have been, like Stokely, like, nope, we're not doing this one now. Let's go. And it could have been that situation. Not so much a scared, but a Stokely mind game of no, we're doing this one on our time, not on his. And with Jungle Boy, it was kind of like it's Jungle Boy, whatever, type scenario. So I can understand it with them, how they build a Hook of them being like, yeah, we're not doing this one right now. Well, yeah, saving the battle for later. Like, nope, not doing this. He does everything on his time. We ain't doing this one. We're doing this on our time, type thing. And it fits into Stokely. It fits into what he does of just the mental game that he can play and the intelligence that the man has. He just kind of is like, nope, boys, not right now, not right now. So it could have been. That's how I'm choosing to see it, because otherwise, I'm with you. I don't like it.
So after after that whole situation, I'm going to say this, and we're going to move on from it. Why is Hook with another team again? I mean, Danhausen. Team Taz, Danhausen, and now this whole thing
really
with Jungle
with
Boy.
Team Taz though. He was with Team Taz, but he never was.
Yeah, but he wasn't a tag team. Yeah, he wasn't a tag team. Yeah, he wasn't a tag team. But I mean, he was a tag team with Danhausen. Now it looks like we're gonna get a tag team with him and Jungle Boy.
I don't think they know what to do with Hook.
Yeah, I agree. Jericho does a promo backstage. Yes, Mick, we do see you. We appreciate you joining with us tonight, Mick. Appreciate you staying active in the chat, brother. We get a Chris Jericho package showing the stupid fireball from last week. I don't really see a point in clamoring on that. We go to commercial break. Renee Paquette is backstage with Swerve Strickland and his two new henchmen, calling his actions against Keith Lee last week disgusting. Strickland said they already know Parker Bordeaux, but they'll find out who the other tatted up man is in due time. Wheeler Yuta interrupted and said his opinion of him couldn't get any lower and challenged Strickland to a match on Rampage. Now we know the tatted up dude with Strickland, thanks to Scott Raz, my moderator in the Discord, my moderator in Twitch, my good friend. He is my Googler, if you will. Raz was the one who filled me in that the gentleman with Swerve actually is a baseball player and used to play for the St. Louis Cardinals. Not that I care, because I'm a Kansas City Royals fan, not a St. Louis Cardinals fan. But interesting to know. I digress.
Another mediocre Midwestern team. Cool. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. Same thing.
Whoa.
I'm a Braves fan, so.
All right, that's fine.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know how much wrestling experience he has. So that'll be interesting. Very. But I'm not big on Swerve. I wasn't big on Swerve in WWE. I'm not big on Swerve in AEW. I mean, to each their own. He's somebody's cup of tea.
Yep.
Just not mine. I like sweet tea, and he's some weird hot tea that you have to drink, that people drink. I don't know. I can't think of any hot teas. Chamomile. There it is. He's chamomile, and I like sweet tea. We'll go with that. Yeah, I kind of hope that Wheeler crushes him. Swerve is a very athletic guy, so I know they'll put on a good match, but I kind of hope Wheeler just kind of out wrestles him, just takes him to the mat and just grinds on him all for 15 minutes. Just
I think you're going to see that, but I think you're going to see Swerve come out on top, obviously because the antics, and Swerve's a major heel right now, and they knew what they were bringing in with Swerve and Keith Lee. They were bringing in two high caliber talents. One of which I think they know could be a major, main event player,
Keith.
as in Keith Lee, and Swerve, who I think, given some time, I think Swerve will be there as well. Like you said, he's not your cup of tea, and I can totally see that. But I mean, there's no denying that he's got star power, and I think what's going on in WWE kind of shows that, because before Swerve left, before Hit Row got fired,
Mm-hmm.
Swerve and Hit Row were over like Rover and NXT. They came over on the main roster. They, as did a lot of those NXT guys. So I don't think it's a knock on them, but I think it's fair to say that WWE didn't know what to do with a lot of those NXT guys. Cross, Keith Lee, Hit Row, stuff like that. Now Hit Row comes back, and for as much as I like Hit Row, to say that their return has been underwhelming, I think the main key piece that they're missing is Swerve. So, like I said, I think I agree with you. I think Yuta will take control of that match on Friday, and I think he will wrestle him to the ground. But I think the end result will be Swerve coming out on top because of fuckery.
Is
Um,
it that, or is it going to be Keith Lee comes out and Wheeler comes out on top? Is it going to be one fuckery outdoes the other fuckery? Is it going to be
I can
that
see.
Swerve's henchmen get involved, and then Keith Lee,
I could
hits it?
definitely see that. Definitely. So, the only thing that I could see, like, obviously, countering that is Swerve's got two guys, hanging out with him, whereas Keith Lee's just one dude. But as we saw last week, they're obviously doing everything they can to make Keith look really, really strong.
And they can time it up right where one of them goes to meet him halfway down up the ramp, and Keith just pounces him, sends him 5 rows into the crowd, and then dukes it out with the other dude.
Yep,
for a second,
absolutely.
To not bury the other dude.
Hey, Mick, I don't want you to think that we're ignoring you, but tonight we're just trying to break down AEW. I'll tell you what, Mick, you bring that question back on Sunday with me, Mark, and ABJ, and we'll talk about that on Sunday night, okay? So we get to match 6 of the best of 7 series.
I like the way the match started. I like the way the match ended. And I kind of enjoyed the middle parts there too. I'm just going to kind of jump on this. It started off just a brawl. Fair enough. These boys are, for, the Bucks and Omega, that it's a gotta win now situation.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. We have to win now situation for that. So for them to go after him backstage, tracks makes sense. All right, cool. Carry on. We got what we always get with a Death Triangle Elite match. Okay. The ending is what I enjoyed of one of, I think it was Matt, or was it Nick? I can't remember which one of it was. They got caught in the submission from Pac.
Yeah.
While Omega delivered the one-winged angel off of something through a table on FedEx to get the 1, 2, 3.
And he didn't know he got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And so there was no controversy after the 1, 2, 3. They didn't try to pull that. They didn't try to pull that fuckery where he taps out in the middle of the 1, 2, 3. He waited till after, so it made you actually look and be like, man, like
they were really close to. It was this close to getting to being done.
Yeah. Being a tie, but they didn't do it.
The timing there, I don't know if it was like the ref that was sitting there was like, hey, you can go now, or if it was just one of the Jackson boys just, all right, here's hoping, that already happened like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I don't know if it was just timing or if there was that communication between refs there, or and or what it was, but great. Either way, great timing. They did it really well. Um, it's yeah. Um, I kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't. I know Hunter didn't like it. He was talking about his Uno skip card there. Um, it was a good
And
match. They did
absolutely.
some good storytelling there. That's why I liked it as much as I did, because there was the storytelling aspect there of the start of the match, the end of the match. There's that is showing how close the elite were to not having the match 7 with that, and then showing how badly they wanted the win by the attack at the beginning. So I don't know, I like the storytelling part of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, and it's very understandable to know where Hunter is coming from on this situation because like I said, you and I both have done this on previous. I've done it on a previous show. You did it on I think like the first show you came on here,
And
where
last
it
week,
was like yeah, I mean, where it was like, hey, like this is predictable. We know where this is going. Obviously, we know that the Bucks are gonna go down, and they're gonna make a big comeback win. Like we know that's how it's supposed to be, and I get it. Like it's very easy to get sour on that, but like I said last week, like I said on Sunday on Bad Booking, and like I said last week, to ignore the fact that these 6 individuals cannot go in that ring and when the bell rings, they cannot do what they do best and put on an absolute show for you, me, and the rest of the crowd. Is just you're lying to yourself,
absolutely.
and you're being judgmental. So like I said, I completely understand where Hunter's coming from, and it's very easy to like I said get it to get on the. But for the benefit of being a wrestling fan, I sat down last week and I was like, I'm gonna watch this match. I'm gonna try to enjoy it and we're gonna try and move on because like I said, all 6 of those guys are still amazing talent, and they still can work inside the ring.
I
And like I said, I dug this match, man, and I think in 2 weeks we're gonna get a ladder match, and we've seen a ladder match with the Bucks and the Lucha Bros before. Now we're gonna get a ladder match with the 6 of them. So I think it's you're gonna see a little bit of what you saw tonight plus a little bit more craziness because you're going to add in a ladder. So
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I found myself sitting here hoping um that he was gonna tap out right before that 3 count. I found
oh yeah,
myself hoping that he was gonna do that just for the sole purpose of swerving us, because everybody and their mom's like, oh, we're getting a match 7. We're getting a match 7. And when you see Kenny pick Ray up for that one winged angel, he was kind of taking his time there. And I'm not sure if it was their communication thing, making sure that was good to go. I don't know what it was, but he kind of took his time there, and I was kind of hoping that it was going to cost him. And we kind of get that big old swerve of everybody like, oh, yep, this is going to match 7 because like everybody's like, yep, it's going to match 7. And then we kind of get that swerve. I was kind of hoping for that. I don't like always being right. Sometimes I want to be surprised. Surprise me.
as a pessimist, as the type of person who's always like, looking at the glass half empty instead of half full. You sometimes want to be wrong. Of course, I don't want to. I don't want to turn on something and be like, "Oh, this is gonna suck," and then wind up being right. No, of course not. I want to be wrong. I
I
don't
mean,
want it to suck.
I
I
was kind
love
of,
wrestling. I
yeah.
love wrestling in all forms. I don't ever want to turn on a wrestling show and be like, "This sucks," and then wind up being right at the end. Like if that's the case, why the fuck do you watch it? You know, of course you want to be wrong, but
I
I feel
was
you, brother. I'm the same way, man. Sometimes I'm a little bit. I like to consider myself a little bit more mature when it comes to my wrestling side, and plus I medicate myself. I smoke a lot of ganja. I have a medical card, and it's legal here in Missouri now. So if anybody doesn't like it, fuck you. It's my show. I'll do what the fuck I want.
um
Anyways,
so I'll say this.
so
You mentioned glass half full, glass half empty. I just see it as a glass of water. And I was really hoping that when I picked it up tonight, it was Sprite and not water. I was like, let me please be Sprite. Like it's kind of where I was at. It was like, you just give me something. I'll take the static TV water. Something that's not just regular water. Speaking
Agreed.
of static TV, shout out to the wife. I'm thirsty.
Hell yeah.
And,
Mountain Dew for the win.
seen that.
You guys are so in love, man. It's so
I love her more than pretty much everything else on this planet. Like I absolutely love her. It's how we show our love.
Crazy Eyes.
Rating me. Hell yeah, let's go.
I like
Crazy
it.
Eyes, welcome in, my man.
Mr. Midwest with 2 raids in one night.
2 raids.
I love it, dude.
Let's go, boys. And now we out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. No. Welcome in. We're just breaking down Dynamite. You missed me talking about wanting static TV water. I think it's called Ciroc or something like. No, that's liquor. Alcoholic coming out. What, LaCroix? Is that what it is? Is that the
No, I drink my water out of the faucet, my guy.
Yeah, it's the same.
I do.
This is about as close to water as I get usually. It's called Gold Peak Extra Sweet Tea.
I do want to highlight this really quick. I know it has nothing to do with this show, and it has nothing to do with Dynamite, but it makes me giggle every time I think about it. You ever gone to Quick Trip or gone somewhere and gotten a drink and you reuse the cup?
Yeah.
So I did that on a Saturday with Chick-fil-A. I got a drink from Chick-fil-A, rinsed out my cup, and then I used it, because it's a large cup. So I like drinking large cups of water. And I had it on stream for bad booking. And Axel was like, we're like in the middle of a debate, one of me and Mark's debates. And then Axel goes, wait a second, I've got a question for everybody. Why does Chase have a Chick-fil-A cup on Sunday? So made me pop a little bit. So, when Raz brought it up, I giggled.
Give me just a second. Hold on.
You're good.
I'm fucking with something.
What are you doing?
My stuff's being really weird right now. So I am trying to fix it because, and I'm trying to figure out why this is doing.
Well, while you're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about this next segment. And I talked about how much I liked the segment from last week, which was the Sanjay Dutt rap. With Jay Lethal and Santam Singh and Jeff Jarrett. And what do you know? Your boys, The Acclaim, came back and knocked it out of the park. For as entertaining as Sanjay Dutt's was last week, The Acclaim came and did one that was 1,000 times better. Max Caster talked about he had references to Jarrett's entire career, including the Global Force Wrestling and stealing Kurt Angle's wife. Caster even mentioned how Lethal was the ROH champion when nobody watched ROH, which is halfway true. I watched it, but I'm sure there was a lot of people who didn't, and said that the only way that Jay Lethal could get over is by impersonating Macho Man, which, unfortunately, for as much as I love Jay Lethal, is somewhat true. That this I don't care what anybody says about cheesy corniness, whatever. This rap video was probably one of their best, and I thought it was awesome. So,
yeah, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it's obviously it was a Max Caster. It was a rap. It's what he does. It's what he does. So it's always going to be pretty good, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did like last week's. It was very meh to me, but yeah, this week it was what it if I get a rap battle between Sanjay Dutt and fucking Max Caster, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna like that. I will hate every second of it. It'll be almost as bad as the Rick Ross segment for me.
I wouldn't say that. Like I said, I thought the Sanjay Dutt one was funny. I thought it was. I thought it had. I thought it had a really good, entertaining aspect to it.
But it wasn't good. The rap in and of itself was not good. It can be funny and it can be semi-entertaining, but it's not good.
These guys are professional wrestlers. John Cena's raps were never good. They were entertaining and funny.
He was actually pretty good at rapping. The New Day and the Usos doing their little rap battles, those were actually good.
Yeah, I just when it comes to rapping and wrestling, I'm a huge music buff, and I like all types of music, not just certain things. So I'm kind of a rap snob, and so wrestlers and rapping don't do anything for me. Like I said, it's entertaining, it's funny, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Oh my god, man, bars for days." Like, no.
I mean, Max has bars. Like, let's be honest here. Max doesn't.
Max is funny. Bars. Max is funny. If Max sold an album, I would never go buy it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not big on that type of rap, but
yeah,
I can't deny that he's not at least decent at it.
Yeah, they're very talented when it comes to rhyming words, and that's what it is. I mean, it's a rap. I get it, but it's not music. They're not. It's like I said, if they put out something on iTunes, it's not hitting my wish list, and it's not, it's not getting on my downloads or on my playlist or anything like that. But it was very entertaining. Anna Jay and Ty versus Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale. Thought the wrong team won here. I didn't think it was I thought the match was meh, but it was good. I mean, like nothing against it, nothing negative about it. But the only thing negative I would say is that the wrong team won. I thought Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale should have gotten the rub here. So,
So I had this thought while watching this, and I remember Axel and I, my first time on this show, when Willow was brought up, and I said how I wasn't a big fan of her. I'm gonna semi-correct myself here. Watching that match, I paid extra attention to Willow in the ring, how she did things, how she sold things, just performance in general. I paid a lot of attention to her in-ring ability, and it's fucking there. So I'm going to amend my previous statement here and say that my issue with Willow is just entirely the bubbly gimmick. It's too much for me. I can't take it seriously, and that's my issue with it. Is when I look at people in wrestling that I could see being a champion, like a world champion, the bubbly personality people for me are not usually those people.
Well, so I will disagree with you here, because what I'm going to say, and I said this on Bad Booking when Willow was brought up. I love Willow. I think she's phenomenal, but I don't think I think the problem with Willow is that nobody else, especially higher ups in the company, see her the same way Axel, myself, and other people see her. I think she could be a star. And do you know why? Because I think you could create, it's been 10 years. It's been almost 10 years, a whole decade. So I think you could absolutely positively recreate Bayley with Willow. And Willow would get over like Rover. And just like you saw a Bayley win the title as that bubbly personality, I think you could see Willow do it. Hands down.
I didn't like Bayley back then. Where I'm at with Willow right now is where I was at with Bayley.
And that's okay. That's okay that you feel that way. But like I said, the company themselves, when they got behind that when they got behind the Bailey buddies and Bailey's bubbly personality. I think Willow has that exact same thing. You don't have to copycat it. Like I said, you can recreate something like that,
right?
To where young people and women and all kinds of people can get behind Willow, and she could gain a lot of momentum, and she could go beat somebody like Britt Baker, who's not well perceived in the company, or a big bully right now who's like Athena, um, somebody like that.
A Jade
That's
Cargill.
the type. Yeah, exactly.
So here's my thing, right?
I don't think that would happen, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Put her up against a big bully like they did with Bailey against Sasha Banks in NXT back in 2014, 2015, where they made history and Bailey was over like Rover. She went in and beat that big mean bully Sasha Banks and
I think that
became
if they
champion.
ran
And that's
the right
exactly
storyline right now, if they ran the Willow Jade storyline right now and they did an actual storyline, not these
couldn't do it.
one-off things, I think that you would get that. I think that what Willow is missing, she's going to have that.
I don't think you could stick her.
I think you could. I genuinely think that if you stuck Willow with a Jade and had them run a month-long storyline, you could get that, because I think Willow doesn't really have that right now. She has no reason for me personally. Again, I can only speak on myself.
You've got to build
get behind her.
You've got to
give me a reason.
You've got to build behind. Yeah, you've got to build on Willow first before you can stick her with Jade. If you stuck her with Jade right now in a program, it's not going to work because you've got to get her built up first. But that's exactly what I would do.
ABJ,
she lost to Jade 3 times.
So let's see. There's okay. Stephen Chambers commenting about Ruby's heel turn. I think that if you did a heel turn from Ruby onto Willow, I'm pretty sure.
So
you by the way, okay.
I was going to say, Stephen mentioned it earlier, and I didn't see it. Maybe I missed that part, but I think Stephen alluded to them possibly hinting at a Ruby heel turn. Like I said, I didn't see it.
For sure they did. They definitely did.
Okay.
It was so I seen it when they came out together and Willow was doing her little dancey dance thing, and like Ruby kind of looked over, was like that situation. So I can see that, and I think that if they do that, I think that if they have a Ruby Soho heel turn on Willow and they run that program, you give her that bad. That's not the big bad, but it's a bad to go up against, to build her a little bit, and then you can kind of push her towards overcoming Jade. I know that she lost to Jade 3 times. I still don't think Jade should win any match. I think Jade should actually be 0-40 whatever instead of 40 and whatever and 0, in my opinion. I don't book shows. So, but with that, it's like I think that they could do that. Now, onto the tag match. Solid match. I'm going to disagree with you on the wrong team won. I think that for purposes of storyline continuation, the right team won.
I'm sick of seeing those two win.
That's fair. I can understand that.
Ruby's been back. She came back to a strong ovation. And I feel like she's taken loss after loss to Anna Jay and Ty. And it just like I said, Ruby's over like crazy. When she came back to a humongous pop, and then like I said,
she got a big pop, but like whenever you haven't heard the theme song in a while, you pop for it. You're like, oh yay, more people.
Of course, but that's momentum. Momentum's a real thing, so you build on that and you continue with it.
I don't think,
but
that
to have her lose,
even when her first match back, like her first actual match back. Because when she popped in, it was, her going to throw hands real quick. Her actual match, she didn't have the same pop. It was like she had that night of momentum, and then it died that night. It was gone just as fast as it was there. So I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm also not huge on her either.
Yep. We appreciate everybody sticking with us and joining with
Absolutely.
us. ABJ, appreciate you joining in. And then Lennon, appreciate you hanging out with us over on Sports Empire Network's Facebook page. So want to talk about this the guns. This incredibly pointless segment where the guns were stopped and they mentioned that they're gonna show up on the January 4th episode of Dynamite and address their big win over FTR.
Mhm.
I only wanted to stop because I didn't plan on harping too much on it when Steven mentioned it in the chat earlier. You know, when they lost the AAA titles. But let's talk about it for a second now. I mean, are you confident in the prediction that they're on the out?
Yeah, it's I don't see how the only way I can see them staying is because obviously we still have a few months before they're gone and out the door. Revolution's not until March. Which actually I already just remembered something from our previous conversations that we can touch back on when we get closer to the end. But unless they come back and they dominate the guns and then they take on the tag champs at Revolution, if they don't win the AEW titles by April, the tag titles, I'm gonna say they're out the door. I am 98% sure they're pretty much gone at this point. My 2% is that reservation of if they win those titles. So
I could see it as well. I do I do still believe that I'm still not sold on the idea of them going back to WWE. You know, they're not Triple H guys. They're not. There's nothing there other than a fat paycheck waiting for them. So like I said, I don't see them as, going, oh yeah, hey, we're going back as soon as we get the opportunity. I could see, like I said, a fat paycheck coming and them taking it, of course. Who wouldn't? But
absolutely,
I still don't see them, on that way. I think the point is that they knew, AEW knew that there's all these titles on FTR and they had to lose them eventually. Obviously, they couldn't keep them forever. So I mean, we don't know. This could be the situation where they're just holding these titles. So and they're finally letting them go.
Or
but
it could be they're pulling it could be that they're pulling these titles to give me a second. Let me take a drink.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You're good.
So it could be that they're pulling these titles to give them the AEW titles as a way to boost their titles over like the Ring of Honor, the IWGP, and the AAA, so that it's just not another title that they're holding. It's, they don't have these ones anymore, but they're happier now because they have these ones. The three of these still cannot amount to these. It could be that situation.
Absolutely.
Dirt sheets like to speculate on what is going on with these contracts. Yeah, that's normal. I ignore dirt sheets. I put about as much stock in them as I do to anything Jim Cornette says or Dave Meltzer, which they're both kind of dirt sheets in my opinion. But I digress. Yeah. So it could be that situation.
Yeah, I we'll kind of get into that a little bit more, but so we got a Renee Paquette interview with Ricky Starks, um, who said that he feels a lot better than Action Andretti, and he'll get revenge on Chris Jericho in Seattle next week. Um, Chris, he said Jericho doesn't like that Starks can think for himself, and that he didn't join the Jericho Appreciation Society. So January 4th is going to be a masterclass in Starks whipping Jericho's ass, and he's going to take Jericho down several notches. Thought it was a good promo from Ricky Starks. I don't want to harp on it too much, but because I think we've talked 100 times, million times on this show. I know I have. That Ricky is um, Ricky's got a lot of great stuff going for him. He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He's fantastic on the stick. So like I said, don't want to harp on it too much, but excited to see that they are not just putting him in a program and then doing away with him. Same thing with Action Andretti. We talked about it Sunday on Bad Booking. Action Andretti looks like he's here to stay for the time being, which is awesome. I love it. I love that they let him get that big win over Jericho, and that he's not just being thrown on dark or thrown on elevation, that he's actually doing something. So, main event time.
So just to be that guy, and you don't want to harp on it, so I'm just to be your opposite here. I have to. There's one line, not even an entire line, that I kind of have an issue with in Stark's promo. And that was when he referred to himself as a legend.
Yeah.
A little early for that, in my opinion. But I say a little, I mean a lot. It's pretty early to claim that. I can absolutely, if you're gonna be the arrogant guy, I got you. It's just I don't find it truthful. Other than that, solid promo. Ricky starts with Mike. I can't remember any time in the history of ever that going wrong. So, at least that I know of him in AEW.
Agreed. Absolutely. Excuse Dustin why he dies.
Yep. Slowly but surely, finally.
So, wasn't a big fan of this match because you kind of saw it coming. But I still thought it was a decent match between the two. I thought Wardlow did a lot of great selling. My biggest issue in this match was the ending. I thought, yeah, man, I thought, you've built Wardlow up to be this big, mean, nasty monster, and for him to get choked out by Joe, I thought made him look I didn't think it was a good look for your big monster guy, but
so you're looking at that different than what I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
So you look at
obviously
it as
he wasn't 100%.
Right. You're looking at it as a kind of a hindrance to the toughness of Wardlow. I'm looking at it as while not, I didn't see it hurting Wardlow. I see it as it being the word I'm looking for, the danger of the Kirifuda clutch or the Coquina clutch. I always get him and Shayna's mixed up. They both sound so similar to me. But that chokehold, I think that it added that it can put Wardlow down, and that just adds to the danger of the move, how effective it is, and how bad of an idea it is to get caught in it. So I think that it kind of, we're looking at it two different ways. I'm looking at it as a plus for Joe. You're looking at it as a minus for Wardlow.
I will definitely kind of just piggyback off of what Scott said. I don't think it's safer than a pinfall, but choking him out is a lot safer than him tapping out, which I'll agree with. I was very shocked. Like I said, they've had this big huge thing with Wardlow all year. and to build him up to be your big monster type guy. And then I agree. Samoa Joe is very we want Samoa Joe to look very strong and look very badass because that's what Joe is. He's a Samoan badass, but at the same time, choking out your Goldberg, so to speak. I think it hinders Wardlow really bad.
How would you have preferred that match to end?
I don't agree with Scott. I think the pinfall would have been fine because he's not 100%.
So you think that a essential clean pin in the middle of the ring, the 1, 2, 3, is less damaging than
I love you too, Mick.
him passing out from a chokehold?
Yeah, no, I think that him having the injured knee and not being able to compete at 100% and taking a pinfall doesn't hurt him as bad as getting stuck in that chokehold, not being able to break out of it and getting choked out.
So what if they do it this way? The next time they face, because obviously they're going to go again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With his knee being 100%, when he gets put in that, he's able to get up and reverse it. Does that change how you're viewing that now? If he couldn't do anything about it because he couldn't get his foundation under him,
I don't know if I would say, I don't know if I'd say get it up, but moving to the ropes before he gets choked out,
he couldn't really move. Yeah, using a lot of his legs to do it to kind of show that the only reason it worked.
True, I'll give you that. I give you that. You kind of put me in a corner there because you're right. Obviously, you got to use your legs to scoot to the ropes to get it. And he has an injured leg.
So it could be it could just be them planting the seed for the next the payoff match. It could just be one of those. And I can see where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I 100% understand what you're saying. Of you build him up to be this big guy, and then he just got choked the fuck out. 100% get what you're saying there. I'm trying to view this not as the singular match that it was, and the long-term storytelling of that feud. That's just the way I'm trying to look at it. That's the way I usually look at things.
No, I agree. You kind of got me with that one because I was like, I mean, he could have tried to scoot something, and then it was like, and then when you mentioned like, well, his legs and getting to the ropes, I was like, well, he couldn't get to the ropes because his knee was fucked up. So, like I said,
gotcha.
it got gotcha, bitch. All right, guys. So if you guys haven't checked or if you guys haven't seen, we're here at the end of the show. The link is in the chat, and I also gave the link to Dustin as well to post in his chat if need be. So you guys can click the link. You guys will get sent backstage. I will bring you in. If you're the only one waiting, I'm not going to harp on you. But if we get multiple people in here tonight, guys, I do ask that we keep it to a 2-minute time limit, just because of, obviously, with you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. No, you're not coming on. You're not. Nope, fuck you.
I don't even
fuck you.
I'll make this comment real quick. You're going to be like a mediocre fast food chain, In-N-Out.
Yep, that's right.
Axel
gets in first. You're getting in last, motherfucker. He shaved his beard. He shaved his fucking beard.
Who?
Raz.
MCR Raz. Yeah, he went from looking like a member of My Chemical Romance.
He's gone. I'm sorry. You're gone.
All right,
you creepy little bastard. I cannot believe you shaved your fucking beard.
I don't believe that Alex has any room to talk about people looking weird with facial hair, considering he has the wannabe Inigo Montoya facial hair.
Axel looks like a fucking pirate, dude. He looks
looks like a wannabe pirate.
Axel,
He looks like he sells pirated DVDs.
what did
Bro,
you like
you
about
look like
tonight's show?
everything. I thought everything was good except for the women's tag match. I think
Agreed.
Ty Mello should have done her triple white bouquet titles
Agreed.
because they had the show 4-way for the mixed tag titles. And
I think that was kind of a thing. They had to either have FTR there or they had to have Ty there. Like, obviously, AEW can't afford not to have either one of them present, so they kind of had to give up one and kind of do something there. That's just the way I see it, because obviously FTR was there. They lost their titles. Could they really afford to have two people, to have, those guys not there, not present? They had to have somebody. Should they have sent Ty over FTR? In my opinion, yeah, absolutely. It's always better to have FTR on your screen.
Sammy was there.
Again.
It's not Ty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good. I thought that open. I think AEW literally left 2022 with the started 2022 with the bang, with the Danielson Hangman Kenny Omega match. No, Hangman match. And then ended it with the bang. You guys are gonna hate me for it, but that 6 was awesome.
I agree.
I
agree.
never said it was a bad match.
Yeah.
We say this every time. It's not that the matches aren't good. It's just that we know how they're going to end. It's been my issue. It's been Chase's issue all along. Is we know what's going to happen. We know how this is all going to end. That's the issue.
And not just that, but I'm also sour on him because I am a CM Punk fan, but I'm also a Young Bucks fan and an Elite fan, and I don't like watching these guys come trample back in and act like they're the heroes in that situation, because they're not. When you're a management in your company and you start a fight with an employee, and then the employee gets banished and you come back looking like $1 million, it stinks. So like I said, I was sour on the whole situation. Plus, they ruined Kansas Wayward Son for me. Kansas Wayward Son is the unofficial theme song for the I-70 hot tag. And those sons of bitches, fucking Tony Khan's got it copyrighted now. He's got rights to it. So we couldn't use it on the I-70 hot tag anymore.
Tony,
anyway.
Yeah. And me and you both know that.
I can't with your fucking audio. I fucking can't. I can't.
Axel, give us one more thing before I boot you, because I got 2 other people waiting.
One more thing.
Yep. If you say stay tantalizing, I'm gonna punch you in the dick.
No, with this.
Okay.
Fuck the SAP. Wait.
All right. Well, I like it, Axel. I'll see you in the Discord, brother. Later.
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let it, because he's been waiting. He's been waiting a very long time, so I'm gonna let him come in here, but reluctantly. You son of a bitch!
Why?
I had to.
Why?
Because I was trimming it and I fucked up.
Oh no!
Yeah. So now I look like a 12-year-old boy.
My heart goes out for you, my man. I can't grow a beard, but I can only imagine the pain that you dealt with right there.
It's okay. Give it a few days, and I'll be back at Chase's level already.
Yeah, you went from being like lead singer in a metal band to being now you look like a lead singer to an 80s rock band that does shows for half the price in Las Vegas.
So you mean Kansas?
Yeah.
Damn.
Exactly.
Damn.
Fuck.
Dude, it was.
I got
He hit that one so quick. It looked like he was fucking. He had that one locked and loaded. He had that bitch in the chamber. Chase is dead. Scott is currently.
Shit. With arms wide open.
I'm over here trying to keep it together so this show can have at least some sense of bass. And you oh,
We can if you want.
oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
You missed it, Chase. You missed it. With arms wide open. I'm killing. You need to unmute.
I know. I'm muted to die. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him share the screen with you since he fucking he razzed Raz, bro.
Oh,
Raz, I'm
fucking
sorry. I'm sorry.
That was perfect.
No, you're not.
That was awesome.
You were not sorry.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Honor. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. As you can see, there's a bit of a new look around here. So kind of
Nice.
redecorated and everything. Part of the
Looks good,
whole
man.
Christmas overhaul. Got some new headphones. Finally got a proper gaming headset. Thank God.
Well, you already have a better mic, 100% better than Axel. So,
I mean,
You're not wrong. You're not
I
wrong.
could plug this
By
mic
the
into
way,
my headset and
yes.
have a better mic than Axel.
true. True.
Certainly not incorrect either. By the way, yes, I did have to throw up a couple of skip cards. I'm sorry, Raz. I know. You like the elite match. It's my opinion. Nobody's wrong. I can tell you right now, nobody's
have your
wrong.
opinion, bro.
Everybody's right. But I will say this: it was a much better
Are you having a
show
heart
this
attack,
week.
Chase, are you having a heart attack on us?
You
No,
okay?
Number one, I have a chest cold, maybe bronchitis.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, at number one. Number two, I'm fat, got high blood pressure. I shouldn't be laughing like that. But oh my god, dude.
I can
Actually,
see it
you may be
now.
able to grow
I
a
can-
beard, but at least I have a good mic.
I think Scott, you just became two memes now.
yes, I can
You know
see
what?
it now.
You know
I can
what?
see it now. It was.
Chase is
It
bad
was.
booking.
It was. Yes, exactly. I was going to say I can see it now. It was Hunter on the AEW Dynamite post show with the Raz that killed Chase.
And this is going to be Chase's bad booking of the week.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But anyway, as I was saying,
So, I actually got to make this comment real quick.
yes.
In like a day and a half, Raz is gonna look like he should be a member of the elite. A little bit of a beard, the long hair. I could see it. I
Oh
can see it.
dear.
We're gonna see him on Rampage, and he's just gonna be taking fucking Nick Jackson's or Matt Jackson's spot.
Forget Rampage. We might end up seeing him on Being the Elite.
Maybe. Fuck.
Maybe.
It looks just like him. Fucking. Are you sure you're
He-
not
he
related to
should,
them? Like, are you some long lost sibling of the Jackson brothers
I wish.
from a
fucking
trip
wish.
their dad took to fucking Australia?
Hey, so he should dye his facial hair two tones.
Absolutely,
Like Nick did.
Raz,
Like Nick did.
Raz, please, please.
Just don't put on those awful 70s porn movie type clothing, okay? It's just
do that too.
tacky.
Do that too.
Tacky.
Do that too. I want you to look like a drag queen with two-tone beard.
Oh dear.
Oh, shit.
Put on a jumper.
All right, guys. Hunter, or Raz, sorry, I forgot who I pulled in first. Raz, what was your favorite part of Dynamite tonight?
To be honest, the whole fucking show was amazing. Like, the only downfall for me was the women's match. That was the
Which
only
one?
downfall.
Which one?
The women's match.
Which one?
Oh, ABJ's here as
Hey,
well.
Hey,
BJ.
move, ABJ, move slightly to the right. Move slightly to the right, brother.
Oh,
You son of a bitch.
ugh.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was worth it.
I love and hate every single one of you. Oh.
Yeah, that was
Oh, dear.
nailed it. Nailed it.
Shit.
All right.
Is
Anyway,
it any
Raz,
wonder why I love hanging out with the Wednesday night crew? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
which women's match are you talking about? Oh wait, no, my brain just took an absolute
It was
shit.
a tag
Holy
team match.
fuck.
The
Yeah,
women's
never
tag team
mind.
match.
As I was, yeah.
Yeah.
My brain took Willow and Ruby as a completely different match from the Tay and Anna one for whatever reason, and it's the beard. It's throwing me off. I'm just completely fucked now.
Nah, that was probably my worst match of the night. Like, opener was fucking amazing. Like, I didn't like the way they split the screen between them and MJF though.
Again. Yep.
But then the Mox and Claudio match straight after, that was fucking solid. Like, as I said in the comments, if Darius can stay healthy, we got a good team there with Top Flight, and we got a potential massive feud with them and the Acclaimed.
I would
Yeah,
actually love to see that.
I don't want to because like I said, I enjoyed the opening match and whatnot, but that to piggyback off of your complaint, tell us that Brian has no shot against MJF without telling us
Oh,
that
for
Brian
sure.
has no shot against MJF because you're still highlighting MJF during his match. So
Because
that's
he's
but what's that-
Maxwell, Jacob Friedman, and he's better than
Was that
you.
just to
And
build
you know it.
the feud? Like, I mean, we're building the feud there, so I get what they're trying to do. I mean, ABJ, what do you think?
Oh, you mean we're gonna build a feud for a guy who lost every opportunity to get to the world title every single chance he has an opportunity to do so with Daniel Bryan? Yeah,
Oh.
that's smart booking. You know what? Sometimes when a dog chases a car, and he finally gets it and doesn't know what to do with it, I think that's been MJF's title run so far. When you lean on your top 4 guys for 2 years to be your champions, and then you build up this whole story with him and Punk, and then when that's not the payoff, and then you're like, shit, we got to build at least a couple months of title defenses for MJF, but we really can't use our top guys because we were recycling the entire time. This is where you kind of lead yourself when you shoot every gun off in your chamber.
To actually, I'm gonna adjust your analogy. I don't think they've shot every round in the chamber. I just think that they haven't made enough rounds to actually do anything. They have 4 rounds that they made, and they haven't made any more.
So who would you book? Who would you book against MJF in the next couple
Would I
months?
personally book against MJF?
Yeah.
Shit. That's a solid question.
That's going to make you money. That's going to make you money.
Thing. And that's what I'm saying is they haven't made enough rounds, as in they haven't made enough stars to make money. So I think that they've put themselves
because they didn't build any stars because they use the same 5 guys that are on top of the company for 2 years.
We're making the same point. We're just wording it differently. They fucked themselves here because without that, Wardlow, you can run back the Wardlow thing, but he's doing the thing.
He just got choked out by Joe.
Yeah. You could,
and the focus is on Joe and Darby.
Jericho, but again, same bullet that they've
Joe
shot
and Darby.
so many times.
Fucking aneurysm.
I don't need to see another Jericho world title reign or another world title match for Jericho. I wouldn't be mad at a Wheeler Yuta shot at MJF. I think that would be pretty good. It wouldn't make a lot of money, but it'd be high match quality.
It would be very good match quality, but you have to ask yourself kind of going into it, because the predicament that we're in right now, Dustin, is every single feud we look at, you know who's going to win. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. So ask yourself this question: if AEW put up a graphic right now, Wheeler Yuta versus MJF on a special edition of Dynamite, or give it to us on Revolution, do you really see Wheeler Yuta coming out on top of that match?
No.
Do you think there's any possibility
Look,
in any
I'm
of
just-
Doctor Strange's 14 and million one universes that Wheeler Yuta comes out on top?
I won.
Okay.
I
bring a point to what Steven's saying.
My thing is, right, is ABJ's here now. So I can't be the bad guy. I have to try to offset ABJ here. And it's really hard for me because I've been in the groove of being ABJ on this show now.
Well,
So I'm just trying to switch gears. I can't do the good guy shit. I'm better at being the bad guy. So I need Raz or somebody.
I'm not
to
a
be the
bad
good
guy. I'm just a realist.
That's fair.
But Dustin, there's a
love
reason why ABJ came in last. So we're gonna do ABJ last, because I know how ABJ is gonna end this one. I love the little wink. I love his wink too.
So
Just without getting to what you're trying to allude to, I thought overall the show was fine. I think people saying it was like one of the best shows of the year, you're high. I thought it did a lot of good storyline building and a lot of teases for future storylines. So in that aspect, it was a fine show. It just, once again, I got a great hand and mouth job, and then at the very end, you blue balled me, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Was it one of the greatest of the year? No. Was
No.
it better than what they've done over the past few weeks? Fuck yes.
it was leaps and bounds better than last week's show.
For sure. Like the fact that you had those two matches right at the start of the show that were solid and strong matches, and then you had as I said, the only one that disappointed me really was the women's match. I was hoping for more of a return with what we got in the main event, but yeah, we had to go with what we got.
So Raz, was it as much of a disappointment as Chase was disappointed in seeing you without a beard, or was it
No. Chase was scared.
I would just love to see a camera shot of how bad you've had to fuck up to make this. Like, you had a lot of beard. So were you just like I was gonna do a tiny little ching? You're like, no.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm glad ABJ said it because I didn't know how to bring
take a little off the. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh no.
Or was it like you were trimming up the neck and you went up a little too far on the neck? Okay. So you're trimming up the neck.
Yeah, but you had enough that you could have jawlined it and then kept.
Yeah, you could have covered it. Until it came
You're like,
back.
oh well, it's up to here. I gotta take it all up to the cheeks.
Yeah.
So Raz, the question now, what have we learned from this situation? Are you going to continue to try to trim your own beard, or you're going to have your wife do it?
I'm not going to do it at all. Just let it grow.
The Raz household's going to have long pubes and big facial hairs.
There you go. Hunter, what did you like about tonight's show? I know you said I know you said you only had to use your Uno skip card twice.
Yeah, that was for the best of seven and the match afterwards, the ladies match. Other than that, it was a great show. But the highlight of the night for me was Hook versus Balaam Lynx. But it was not for the reasons what you would expect. Yes, it was a squash match. Yes, Hook won. That was predictable. Here's the thing. As Chase knows, because I've talked about it with him in chat when he's been doing I-70 Hot Tag. I am a supporter of Rocky Mountain Pro, and Chase has interviewed a couple of the guys from RMP on the show. Dak Draper, Derek Stone, Nas Planquet. Balaam is a part of Rocky Mountain Pro, okay, and he's a very good friend of mine. I know him. We talked a lot. To see a friend.
Did he sign that shirt?
Yes, he did. Well, no, he didn't sign the shirt, but he did sign the. If I can get it out here, give me just 1 second. He did sign the flyer for me. If I can get it into focus here, you probably can't see it there, but it's right there.
Hell yeah, I see it.
But the thing
Got to
is,
see my boy. Got to see my boy Ray Leon, who goes by a different name in Rocky Mountain Pro. But got to see my boy Ray Leon beats the Metalhead Maniac Sledge last night, which was
that's
cool.
right. That was a lot of fun. But here's the thing. I know it was a squash match and everything. That wasn't the reason why it was my highlight of the night. For me, just the sheer fact of getting to see a friend get some national exposure on television, and especially, as big a show as Dynamite.
Imagine your friend beat Chris Jericho.
Right?
I almost had a freaking aneurysm.
Like, that is an absolute big deal. So that was the highlight of the night for me. I know Steven said that, it should have been on Rampage, but to me, this was
the only
highlight
reason
of
it
the
wasn't
night.
because they wanted to set up the new tag team that's building. And here's my question too: how much of one manager is too much on one show?
When it's Stokely Hathaway, it's never too much.
Okay,
I love Stokely Hathaway, but I can't have him out 3 or 4 times a night.
So before ABJ completely decimates the rest of this show, I want to say something real quick for Chase Hunter and especially ABJ. I at this point have never been more jealous of 3 individuals in my life, because you guys know all these dudes who are being on my TV screen, and like ABJ just mentioned, your friend just beat Chris Jericho. I am insanely fucking jealous because I don't know any indie wrestlers like that, and I fucking wish I did. There are very few things in this world that I wish for more than to be able to.
My other friend just won your heart tonight too.
Willow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say she won my heart. She earned my respect. 2 different things. Okay,
very talented.
She is very talented. I'll give her that. Yeah, but like I don't have that. There isn't really a huge indie presence in Arkansas. There isn't a big one in Michigan either, which sucks for me because that's where those are the 2 places I've lived. So, but like I am insanely jealous. I wish I knew people like you guys did. I wish I had the bragging rights that you guys have of, oh, that's cool. He's your favorite wrestler. Yeah, I knew him before he was on everybody's TV screen, before he was in, on national television, tearing shit up. I knew him before that.
Just so you know, Dustin, that one of the guys I worked with previously has recently returned to WWE.
Who?
Bronson Reed.
How close are I worked with Bronson Reed for 4 hours during a meet and greet. How close are you to Springdale or Tuckerman? Because you have
who is that at?
ASFW and Tuckerman, and you have WCWA and Springdale.
Hey, ABJ, your mic's being really shitty, brother.
You can hear me now?
No, it's
yours is doing
like
what
out of sync.
You're gonna have to like refresh your thing.
So it wasn't me.
No,
it was ABJ.
Okay.
But yeah, Bronson just returned to WWE, and I've worked with him previously.
And like, when you say worked with him, do you mean like when he was doing a normal everyday bullshit job, you worked with him?
No, when he was doing independence over here in Australia.
Okay.
And
so and I'm gonna pry here. Like, did you? I don't know if you wrestle or if like you're just if you kind of do ABJ.
I was doing commentary.
Okay.
I was doing commentary, and I also worked with Indy Hartwell and Suzuki. Not Minoru Suzuki, but Hideo Suzuki. There's a video of it online.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who when he got into the independents, he was up in some fucking where I don't remember where he was at. And he actually wrestled Johnny Gargano as his debut match in the promotion. that he was wrestling for. He wrestled Johnny Gargano, and then Johnny showed up on fucking NXT a couple years later. So that was kind of thing.
Well, it was funny because not long after the event, bloody that's when Bronson, who went as Jonah, then appeared in NXT.
Yeah, so like that's the closest I've ever gotten to that. Is like I know somebody who knows this person. Well, like, that's the best I've ever gotten. So I'm just jealous of that. I wish I had that. And one of these days I will at some point in my life be in the independent scene like that, and the hopefully in the way that ABJ is, just doing kind of backstage stuff. Hopefully, one of these days, like commentary.
Best way to start is just go to a show. Just keep going to shows. The more you go to them, the more you'll get to know the people there, and you might get a chance to talk to some of the wrestlers. Like I did that when I moved here to Melbourne, and the one and only show I got to go to before all the fucking COVID lockdowns hit. Met a few of the wrestlers. There was a guy from right around the corner that lives right around the corner from me.
There he is.
Yeah,
So I had to use Google Chrome for my bit to put the virtual background up, and I guess that's where everything was going wrong because Google Chrome.
I'm using Google Chrome, and I haven't had issues like that. Maybe you just have a shitty fucking thing.
No, Google Chrome's a shit cunt when it comes to this thing.
It takes a lot of bandwidth. Like there's a lot of processing that goes into the Google Chrome browser.
I'm really only using Chrome right now, so it's probably
I think my Restream sucks. Dude.
Yeah, honestly, dude, what I was trying to say earlier is if you type in just Arkansas independent scenes, I don't know where you are in Arkansas, but I found like 4 or 5 of them in that area. What's that?
By Little Rock, and like the closest ones I found to me are like a 3-4 hour drive, and dude,
I drive 4 hours to do commentary twice a month. I drive from Pennsylvania all the way down to the Jersey Shore.
So I drive a 2000 Ram, which eats gas. Like I eat Twinkies.
Trade it in.
I love my truck though.
Do you want to be part of the wrestling business, kid?
Buy a second small car if you can.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I like Twinkies.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
If you can get a second small car,
honestly, how he was saying, just showing up is the big thing. But I worked almost 6 months just holding a camera or bringing equipment and actually setting up commentary for other people for a while before I even got an opportunity. And then I finally sat in front of a microphone, and they're like, "Yeah, that's your seat, brother."
Just
it's something I want to get into. My issue is my wife hates wrestling.
So get rid of the wife.
Yeah, the truck and the wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have one. Okay.
You have wrestling.
Yeah. Well, and hey, listen, Linda, listen, Dustin. If you get rid of the wife, you'll have more money for gas on the truck to drive to those wrestling events. It'll still eat up a lot of gas, but
this is the guy with a wife and 4 kids.
Three,
close enough.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is less wife,
more life.
Yeah,
hearing more.
And then what happens is you're young, you're a good-looking dude. You can meet a mouth breather at one of these wrestling events.
There's tons of mouth breathers at wrestling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no endless supply.
And she'll love the wrestling with you, and then you can use her fucking car.
Yeah.
And then that's the dream, brother.
Yeah, find those ones that are paying they're buying 13 8x10s a show, got a lot of money in their pocket.
You need a sugar mama.
Yeah, find those money marks.
Yeah.
Dude, I've already heard stories of wrestlers hooking up with fans that have money and starting their own promotion a year later. You know what I mean? Like things happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, real quick, here's my quick question before I get into the ending bit of the show. If I was someone who never watched AEW as a product before, what is your takeaway from tonight's show?
All right, let me put that mindset.
You're mean.
The world champion's a jackass. You really hope that this dude who goes by the American Dragon wins if they do face him. Or since you probably won't know anything about it, you'll probably be like, I wonder if those two are ever going to fight. This Hook dude's a big deal, but he's really small, so I don't understand that.
Hook and his partner are just complete badasses in there.
Yeah.
Combined weight of 115 pounds.
Ruby and Willow don't look like they like each other very much. And then this poor Wardlow guy got his knee messed up by this Samoa Joe dude who seems like a dickhead. And then who is this weird skater boy that looks like he belongs in an Avril Lavigne music video? And why did he just hit this big dude with a skateboard?
And why'd the big dude run away like he was terrified of him?
Right. That's
I think the moral of the story is if you're under 117 pounds in AEW, you're booked as you're a fucking giant, and if you're a giant, you're booked as you're a giant bitch.
To be fair, I think Hook is 118 pounds.
Listen, I think Hook's super entertaining. I you know what I mean? But like, come on, my guy. Like,
okay. So here's
if you're
my
gonna
question.
do the Hook Jungle Boy thing, and then you end the show with Darby cleaning house again, it's just a lot, man. It's a lot. And then and this is not me hating on the wrestler once again, it's me hating on the character and the presentation. I'm sure they're all really nice people. But it's just really, really hard for so everyone's like, well, Miro's kind of a crybaby. He didn't want to take losses, so that's why he's not being booked because they have nothing for him. Would you want to go and lose that was probably Miro's booking, realistically, was, hey, you're going to be a secondary guy to Darby. And Miro goes, have you looked at me? I shit bigger than that guy. My wife is bigger than that guy. Why am I secondary? I'm fucking Miro.
So I have a question for you, ABJ. And actually, Raz, Hunter, Chase, all y'all can chime in on this. What is the difference in gimmick between Hook and Orange Cassidy?
One, oh man, this is not going to sound very polite. One wrestles and tries really hard to wrestle but not care, and the other one is really good at wrestling but doesn't try to show that he can do it.
With me, I think the difference
in ring, like realistically, is one of their better guys in their roster. He's really talented and has trained a shit ton of people.
For me, the difference between Hook and Orange Cassidy is that Hook is played up to be this, this badass monster guy who just beats everybody in quick succession. Son of Taz.
He's like if you took Hunter's body in a creator wrestler mode and just copied and pasted Taz's moveset to him.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it'd be more like if you took Axel's body and copy and paste Taz moveset to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because remind you guys, Hunter Dillon is 6'4",
240
6'4", 240 pounds. So I can take Dustin down if I wanted to. If I really wanted to.
I didn't know you were 240. I thought you were skinny. I thought you were a little skinny guy. Look at you.
I did too. I genuinely thought this man was like 5'10".
Oh, I knew he was taller, but I thought he was like a rail.
I
know
holding weight well. Hunter's killing the game.
Yeah,
like Raz over here says, don't screw with me, and he's right. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. You push the wrong button, I will tie you up. On the other flip of that, on the other side of that coin, if you guys are in trouble, I can get you out of it.
Holy shit!
Hunter's got our back.
Will you bite somebody for me? Will you ace steal somebody?
Maybe. Anyways, I was saying.
I will.
And Raz is broken.
No.
Anyway, as I was saying, the difference between Hook and Orange Cassidy. Hook is this, monster badass wrestler. Orange Cassidy, on the other hand, he's good, but he's just playing it up for laughs. The hands in the pocket, thumb up, that sort of ordeal.
One's very established and has been doing it a lot longer than the other.
The idea is that the idea is that Cassidy is, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about anything. Like, I'm too lazy for this shit. But he can fucking go. The guy can fucking go. Hook is your disenfranchised teenager that will fight no matter what and will just kick the shit out of people. But doesn't care about who he's beating up.
Do you think it's his strategy to always look like he's ready to cry?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what he always looks like to me. He looks like he's ready to bawl his eyes out at any second. When he was staring up at Big Bill, which I hate that name, he looked like he was ready, like his lips were quivering, like he was gonna start crying.
Yeah.
I think he was going for an angry look, but can't pull it off because he looks like a 17-year-old boy.
One of my friends says he has the hair of, I think Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Like someone made him Super Saiyan, but not Super Saiyan.
It's just,
You,
I'm not trying to hate on the characters and not trying to hate on this, but AEW has shown us over the history of their company that if you're a bigger guy, we're just not going to use you. Like if you're too muscular, if you're too tall, you are going to be a secondary character. They really haven't, besides Wardlow for a little bit with the TNT title, they never really put a rocket on someone like that. Like when they said we're going to sign Miro, it's like I wanted to be excited about it, but it was also like, man, I'm kind of more excited if Miro signs at AEW because then he can go to Japan and do some cool shit. But like Miro and AEW is not being used. Brody King there not being used. Brody Lee's probably the only tall guy that they ever looked at. Like again, Lance Archer, fucking Brian Cage.
I mean,
like if you're
Lance
bigger,
Archer, they troped out constantly for the first year or so with the title defenses and shit like that. For every champion had a title defense against Lance Archer.
yeah.
And look, the guy can go, he can move, he can actually wrestle. Just
He's not. And here's the crazy thing is, Lance Archer's
he's
not
not great.
that tall.
And he's not great either. He's not that
I disagree.
great.
I think he's good. I think he's super entertaining. I just don't think they've let him go off. Like, I got to watch him wrestle live. I got to watch Jonah wrestle live, Dynamo wrestle live, and they wrestle entirely different than I've ever seen them wrestle on TV.
Yeah. Like, Jonah's
So,
fucking amazing live.
I will always give Lance Archer his flowers, because if Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to work in the ring with you and trust you working in the ring with him, I think you're pretty fucking good.
Another one, very good live, super entertaining. Fucking Brian Cage, dude. Brian Cage walked into a show, and I'm not trying to pull the curtain back too much or try to bury a company, but he walked into a show and was expecting a one-on-one match with a guy who's trying to make his move on the independent scene, and they showed up and said, "Hey, Brian and the champion, we're gonna change things up, and we're gonna turn this match into a six-way for the title." On the spot. Hey, by the way, you're booked, but you're going to be booked in a six-way.
Oh, fuck.
Brian Cage. Mike's not going to work, so he's not going to be a non-factor anyway. So Brian Cage walks into the show, literally looked at everybody and said, what is everybody's thing? What is everybody's shit? And they all told him, he goes, cool, everyone's getting their shit in. And guess who took 80% of those bumps?
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage went in there, worked his balls off, worked 10 times harder than he probably needed to, would have gotten paid regardless, and made sure every single person got put over in that show. Booked the entire match of how everything went, and the crowd ate that shit up because there was so many like those quid false finishes where someone hits their finisher, goes for the cover, somebody comes in, breaks it up. Like, it was done so well. And Brian Cage orchestrated the whole match.
When he was over here in Australia, he was here for the World Series Wrestling, which he'll be back here next year. And just one of my friends went to it and said that he was just the absolute like standout of the night. That Cage
he was one of my favorite conversations. We talked comic books and horror movies the entire time.
So, I'm going to kind of backtrack and then come back to the current conversation.
Yeah.
I brought up the Orange Cassidy Hook thing because I genuinely was like, they're pretty much the same gimmick to me. Like, I'm aware that Orange Cassidy can go. I've seen him do
Cassidy's
it.
more
I'm very much aware that he can go in the ring. It was just their
Cassidy's
gimmicks
the-
looked the same to me.
more your lazy everyday person. Hook is your disenfranchised teenager.
My question is there anyone in this boxes now that still doesn't like or is entertained by Orange Cassidy?
I'm
So
still entertained.
The Orange Cassidy Kenny Omega Pac match did not entertain you,
That
I
fucking
don't even
did.
remember when that was.
bro.
That was
that's
when-
that's low key one of AEW's best
Well,
matches.
That was
So
good.
like,
That was
so
a good
here's my
match.
thing. Here's my thing: is entertained by him. Not really. I kind of like when he shows up. I'm like, all right, cool.
He went toe to toe wrestling with both those guys, and they're
yes.
both the top two guys in the world.
Yeah, but I'm saying his gimmick is not for me. His in-ring ability, I love it. He can fucking go. It's great. I've seen, because like I said, I've seen him do it. He can fucking go, and I love it. His gimmick is what kind of pushes me off, and that's how it
His
is
gimmick
with me
is
for a
the guy
lot of
that-
people.
So
His
you know
gimmick is your
essentially
friend
where his
that
gimmick comes
doesn't give
from.
a fuck.
No, I don't.
So when wrestling hit that stage where nobody wanted to be a character and everyone wanted to just be the cool tough guy, he's essentially making fun of that wrestler.
Yeah,
I just want to be, I want to be this guy who comes out in just like really cool gear, and I'm just too cool for everything, and I'm tough, and I just beat people up. Like that was everyone's gimmick post Attitude Era. Everybody wanted to be the cool tough guy. So he's like, I want to be the cool tough guy, and I'm gonna dress like I'm in fucking Top Gun, and I'm just gonna wear denim, and I'm just too cool. I don't even care to wrestle. Like that was his whole. That was essentially what he tried to create. He was making fun of people not wanting to be characters in wrestling.
when I first saw him,
We all right?
yeah, sorry.
Oh.
But when I first saw Cassidy, like, I thought, what the fuck? I don't like. He puts his hands in his pockets. Is that how he wrestles? What the fuck? But then watching his matches, I was like, holy shit, this guy can go. Like, he's actually fucking talented. If you give him a chance in the ring, he'll fucking show everyone that he can.
And he kind of has the Willow effect too, where what you see is not always what you get, because Willow's the smiley, bubbly girl. But then when
Yep.
Willow gets into a match and she starts getting pissed and angry, she goes into straight strong style and just fucks people up. I watched her break Hot Sauce Tracy Williams' orbital by accident because she went into her non-bubbly mode and just went into killer fucking Japanese strong style. She fucked dude up. She's like I said, she had her, like what you see on the outside of Willow is not even what we got close to yet.
Yeah.
Like the old saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like
But,
those two-dimensional characters. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't think
as
the book has that second dimension yet.
So as we kind of circle back, I can kind of barely remember what we were talking about before I hop back onto the Orange Cassidy thing.
Yeah.
What were we
My-
talking
My
about?
essential thing was that tonight's show was they put over 3 really, really small guys against a team of really, really big guys. And it just and storyline wise, like, I'm sorry if I have to watch Darby Allin every week as TNT champion. I don't care. Like
I
I
don't either.
think
I'm hanging
think
on
that
by a
tonight's
thread
show was-
to watch AEW, and that did not help me at all.
I think tonight's show was strong and solid with the matches that they had. I think it was a fuck ton better than what they put on in the past few weeks. Was it the greatest? Absolutely not. But it definitely gave them a stronger ending to the year than what they would have had if they'd gone out on last week's show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
And
Darby,
do I think it should have been Darby Allin coming back? No, I am 100% in agreement here. I don't think it should have been Darby Allin. I thought it should have been Miro coming back.
So
And-
here's my thing. Sorry to cut you off there, but my thing is, like, when you look at the TNT title picture, you have Wardlow, you have Samoa Joe. It's kind of your main TNT title picture right now, right? Very
Yep.
large guys. When you look at your All Atlantic title picture, it's smaller guys. So take your Darby Allin and you put him over there with Orange Cassidy doing the Atlantic title thing, and you bring Miro, you have him do the TNT thing, because I understand with what AEW is trying to do of give the smaller guys a chance, because as wrestling fans, I know there's been plenty of people. Oh well, he won't ever get a chance because he's not big enough.
Yeah.
That thing was used on
Daniel
Adam
Bryan
Cole a
was a
lot.
fine example of that.
Right. Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, those guys, they're not big enough. There is a time and a place for it, but when you do it the way the AEW is doing it with Hook, Jungle Boy, and Darby, it's wrestling still has to have that believability to it, and I think they're losing that. With Danielson, there was that believability because it's like, yeah, you're a big dude, but if he gets you off your feet and you're on that mat with him, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
so
how
with
good you
those
are,
guys,
he's just going to tie you up.
With those guys like with Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, and all them, where their time comes is when the bell rings, between the bells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bryan Danielson shouldn't be running out, even though Bryan Danielson is the best wrestler on the card. But there's no difference between Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, Hook, Jungle Boy. Those four guys shouldn't be going out and clearing the ring when one of the dudes standing in the ring is 7 foot tall
and you can't teach that.
That's right.
I had to throw that one in there.
Jungle Boy, I'll give a
Bada bing,
pass
bada boom.
because
Willie's
Jungle
got
Boy
it.
has proven he can get in there with the likes of a Christian Cage and a Luchasaurus and hold his own because he has a set of moveset that is believable. Like when Shawn wrestled Sid, when Shawn wrestled Diesel, Shawn had a moveset and a style that clashed with the big guy to make them believable. I'll even give Hook a pass. Hook looks like he can throw a punch, looks like he can throw a kick. If Hook gets you to the ground, he can choke you out. Like he has a little bit of a believability. Darby's whole thing is I just throw my body at you, but his body looks like it's 100 pounds. Like his punches look like he just windmills at. Like there's no moveset behind Darby Allin except being suicidal that makes him a believable champion to me.
I was saying this to my wife earlier, and you bring up a good point there, ABJ. I was saying this exact thing to my wife is like we were talking about the body size of wrestlers, and you may have people. You may have people looking like Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole. They may look small, but in real life, when you see them, they're bigger than us.
They can sell that character to make it believe that they can win that match.
Whereas Darby,
Adam Cole and I are about the same size, actually.
Like you look at Darby, and he'd probably be probably less than my size. When I'm
going to show my bias here a little bit with Darby. Darby's whole thing is he can take a beating longer than you can give one out. And I get that too, because that's like the golden baby face. That's like the Cody Rhodes thing, except Cody Rhodes looks like a wrestler. And that's what they try to do with Darby. I personally just don't grasp to that character. So that's why I have a hard time with Darby, because Darby's like, you can beat me up all day and you're eventually going to get tired, and then I'm going to jump off the turnbuckle and I'm going to beat you. It's just like, I just can't get behind that match.
I have a couple things to say. One of
we
my friends
know
earlier,
real quick. We know that Darby can give out a beating too because of all the abuse allegations from his ex-girlfriend.
Fucking hell, Chase.
All right. I'm gonna make my comment, and we're just gonna kind of try to slip by that. So one of my friends made this comment earlier, and I find it to be pretty accurate. Darby seems like he's about 2 bumps away from being in a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Yeah. And as a person who is concerned for the man behind the character, I don't want that to happen.
They're selling Darby as the next
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. Darby cannot match the in-ring ability, so he thinks, "What crazy shit do I have to do next so people keep loving me?" And I keep saying to wrestling fans, "You're going to paralyze this kid."
Yeah, and so my second thing here is that let's be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. If Darby throws his body at a Samoa Joe, at a Wardlow, at a Miro, at a Powerhouse Hobbs, realistically, what is to stop them boys from catching him and then chucking him like a fucking football?
When you're an 115-pound kid in high school and you run across the middle and you run into that 240 middle linebacker and he doesn't even see it coming, guess who still loses that battle? The fucking 115-pound wide receiver.
Chad Ochocinco, who is by no means
runs into Ray Lewis,
and you run into Ray Lewis, and you're on
Ray
your
Lewis
ass.
and concussed himself. Ray Lewis never even seen Chad Ochocinco coming, and he's over 6 foot tall, over 150, 200 pounds.
6'4", 6'5",
Yeah.
weighing in the mid around like 240, 250,
Yeah.
smacks into Ray Lewis,
And hurt
Ray
himself.
doesn't budge outside of the step he takes to go get the running back.
Yeah. And you want me to believe Darby does a coffin
Right.
drop and it hurts somebody.
Right. Like
Oh,
that's
look,
why I like
the coffin drop
Joe's
probably
thing.
fucking hurts. It's just not as.
When your
Not
infant
as
jumps off the
weighty.
couch and lands on your chest, at first you have the reaction go, oh, and you go, oh, it's an infant. It didn't
Yeah.
hurt that bad.
Yeah. So like here's my
I don't,
thing.
I don't
And
know.
this is-
You haven't met my kids.
This is one of the things I like about Joe is because it's one of his. I can't even call it a move. It's one of the things he does when somebody jumps off the fucking ropes at him and he just kind of sidesteps and walks away. It's the most realistic things. Why are you going to stand there and let somebody jump at you? It's the most. I love it. That's one of my favorite things about Joe. Is he just walked the fuck away? It's like, what the fuck's this stupid shit? And like him doing that, like with Darby, like, he just catches him and he can just chuck him across the fucking ring.
You know, speaking of
Darby's
that,
going to beat him.
I actually have to
No.
bring back to the moment in the opening match where Stokely pulls what's his name? Ethan Page out of the way from Daniel Bryan. Like that looked fucking brutal.
Yeah. It just right now, storyline wise, is like, okay, MJF is non-beatable. We have 100 titles that we really don't see. The trios is most likely going to go to the elite. They're not going to lose it anytime soon because we just watched the best of 7. So a title change ain't happening when they get their next opponents. The women's championship just changed, and that ain't moving for a moment.
Stephen Keys.
They're not doing a best of 7 to crown a new champion to lose it to the House of Black. Sorry, not going to
They're
happen.
not going to. The only way the
the
House of Black
because his House of Black paints their face and wears spooky masks, but it ain't going to happen.
I like their spooky masks, to be fair. Their spooky masks.
That's
pretty cool.
Listen, you want to get over as a wrestling fan, be spooky, paint your face, or said wear a mask, and you're over.
I don't know. Look at NXT. I looked at NXT yesterday, and fucking 90% of their roster was spooky.
That's because Schism's they have 100 people in Schism.
Schism's
Well,
like
you got Schism. You got fucking that crazy bitch that they're bringing in.
Schism only has 4 people.
Yeah, I know.
But
anyway,
like everyone trying to do a spooky or crazy type character over there.
And then you're gonna tell me that the next title change is gonna be Samoa Joe, who just beat Hobbs and Wardlow at the same time, is gonna lose
then beat
Wardlow
again.
clean as a whistle. And he beat Wardlow clean again, and he's gonna lose. Well, I mean,
it's not going to be clean.
Outside attacking
It's
his
not going to be
Wardlow
clean.
match. He beat him. He beat him.
The match.
You know what I mean?
The match was clean. Pre-match antics were not.
Yeah.
No,
But you're going to tell me he's going to lose to Darby Allin, who's going to be a 3-time TNT
It's not going to be a clean win, though. It's not going to be a clean win. There'll be fucking trickery to cause
Darby's
that.
a babyface. There's no way for him to not win clean.
He'll have a coffin match, or he'll have a fucking no holds barred match, or some bullshit.
Because
match
apparently
he can use
when you
weapons
give a
at.
big motherfucker a kendo stick to wear out on somebody who looks like I should wash my clothes on them, that changes everything. No, I'll tell you this right now. And Chase, this is your warning. If Darby wins the TNT title off of Joe, that will be, and it's on a Dynamite, that will be the last show I do for a very long time. You're gonna have to find a new co-host. Here, there is your fair warning.
Dynamite's getting so rough, you have a hard time
Axel's
You
finding
want
his
somebody
hand
with a
up
good
for
mic,
it.
Axel. You want somebody with a good mic who looks like, and he doesn't want somebody who looks like I shouldn't leave my kids alone with them. Anyway,
Bro, it's her.
or lays down
So-
like he's posing for a fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in the
paint me
Titanic.
like one of your
the
French
entire-
girls.
I don't.
No, he's
Anyway,
trying to be Shawn Michaels.
I can't give good analysis, but I can volunteer if need be.
right. But I'm just letting Chase know right now. If that happens, I'm done with AEW, and I love AEW.
Skateboard on a
Mostly
pole
because
match.
FTR is under contract with them, but I'm done.
and they're
because-
not going anywhere. Just spoil alert.
Yeah, no,
Maybe.
they're not. They're not.
Maybe
And-
not. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not
No,
there.
look, I
Fucking
I
ABJ
think
probably has their cell phone number. You probably fucking text
FTR
Dax and Cash on a fucking regular basis. I don't know.
Dax's
Look
podcast thing.
what can you see?
Exactly. Dax's podcast was there to set up that exact thing. He put that out there, and he put those quotes out there because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get Punk coming back, and you're going to get Punk TR, and it's going to be Punk TR versus the Elite.
Best of 7. Now that's the best of 7 you want to watch.
That's the best of 7 that is going to happen, and that, as ABJ said, it would be the one that people want to watch because they want to see the Elite and Punk go at it in the ring. As much as people say they don't want to see it, they will.
What I would want to see actually is not Punk and the Elite. I just want to see Dax and Cash just absolutely smother and out wrestle the Young Bucks. I just want to I want to see Dax and Cash just beat the dog shit out of them for fucking 7 straight matches. Somehow we get 7 straight matches of them just beating the dog shit out of them and doing what they can do.
You won't, because they needed. Look at what they did with this best of 7 series. They had to change it up. We had the hammer involved and like weapons match. We've had tonight. We've had the pinfalls count anywhere. Next week we've got the fucking ladder match for the titles. They couldn't just stick to the standard wrestling for the whole of the series because Hunter would have had that game card out all the way through.
These boys did a best of 7 with 6 different stipulations, and the Bucks, and FTR and the Briscoes did 1 match with 1 stipulation and outshined anything that we've seen in this best of 7.
Facts. That's facts.
Now going back to what ABJ said. Oh, I'm sorry. Did it? Somebody talking? I'm sorry.
You're good. Axel's trying to talk, but his mic doesn't work.
I'm sorry.
Axel's got a headset, but he doesn't fucking use it.
Axel require I don't know why he keeps doing this to himself. Like he comes on here knowing that we're all gonna roast his lack of microphone, and he just keeps doing this to himself at this point.
He's like,
you know why?
You know what I think is gonna happen, and then I think that.
So to answer Steven's question,
because he's got the inside scoop and he doesn't want to tell us.
Axel's from Long Island, and Axel just don't give a fuck. That's why.
Axel's from Long Island, and he wants to be MJF, but he'll never be MJF.
Axel's got the inside scoop, but just doesn't want to tell us.
So what's happening is every time Axel goes to give us the inside scoop, the FBI cuts his mic off.
His FBI handler's watching.
His FBI guy is just sitting there, and he's just spamming the fucking button. They have a special button that's connected. They have a thing that's connected to the toilet. So every time somebody goes to the bathroom in the FBI office, it cuts off Axel's mic.
That's badass. I just saw that at Walmart tonight.
Yeah, I just got it today at Walmart.
Yeah.
Because the order I put in 8 months ago, I'm still waiting for all of them to show up, and they canceled my order on Taker and on Warrior, so I have to get Warrior again. But I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for like 9 figures, and they're still like saying delayed.
You ordered the Bray Wyatt Mad Hatter one?
No, not yet, because that's all over the shelves everywhere. So I'm not really stressing that one.
That's what they said about the bloody Undertaker Funko Pop, the one where he's coming out of the coffin.
Yeah, I don't mess with Funko Pops anymore.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that one. I still have not got it.
Okay, Hunter, you were going to make a point, so we're going to let.
Yeah, I was going to go back to what ABJ had said earlier, going back to what he said about the best of 7. Now I almost threw this up again until ABJ said Punk TR versus the Elite. That's the match you want to see, and I thought about it. And I'm like, okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
It is a license to print money because people want to see at the end of it the shit kicked out of each other, and they want to see Punk get in there and face Kenny Omega. People want to see that. People would have put money on that, and that's what they probably were going to build to before all this shit went down. And obviously, we were supposed to have Punk versus MJF as the payoff for MJF winning the belt, but that got fucked over because of the injury and the backstage fight.
What if that backstage fight was literally just one massive fucking work?
I don't think it was.
I don't think it
But
was a
what-
work. I think it started out as a shoot, and then they can
yeah,
turn it
the
into
reason
a work.
why the reason why it wasn't Dustin is because somebody lost their job. Ace Steel lost his job. So
But did
And
he?
Larry lost
Did he?
his 8 teeth that he had left.
yeah.
Did he?
Ace Steel lost his job. Unfortunately, I can't confirm that. Yeah.
Did he? Do you know Ace Steel personally? Do you have his cellular device number?
No, I don't have his cellular device, but I sat and talked with him at that show because I actually asked him for an interview. I asked him to come on the I-70 hot tag, and he was like, "I'm not doing interviews, obviously, right now." And I was like, I understand. I was like, we wouldn't talk anything about that. And he was like, well, obviously, he's like, I don't want to talk about my unemployment. He was like, but he was like, I'm not talking.
You know what's
I'm not
fucking
doing
stupid
interviews.
though?
Kiffin.
When wrestlers are begging for opportunities to fucking do stuff, right? And then they finally do something worth fucking talking about, and they're like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." It's like, fuck, what are you talking about? You haven't done anything in 15 fucking years. It's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you. Fucking, you couldn't shut me up. I'd book podcasts all 24 hours straight. Hey, I gotta go. I got another fucking thing. I'm gonna repeat this same fucking story.
The
way to
the
make
only
money.
way I would agree with that is if you were charging people to make money, and I don't pay anybody for an interview.
Bro, there
So-
was a company at a company that's trying to be started up at Icons, and their whole bit is they want to start their own company like Cameo, but they want to recruit celebrities, wrestlers, and stuff like that to their company. They book you. So say if you want to interview me and I'm part of their company, you have to book me through them. They promote your show on their social media brands, and then I lose a 17.5% cut of your pay to pay me to be on your show.
Can you
And
guys
they're
hear me?
literally pitching this to Kevin Kelly while I'm sitting right next to him. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a podcaster. I'm the guy you're trying to ruin his fucking gig and make money off it. And they're like, and I just walked away.
No comment.
Can you
ABJ's
guys
like, well, how about fuck you first of all?
Are you on your laptop, Axel?
I'm on my wife's. Yeah, I got it for Christmas.
Much better.
I can hear a full sentence. He says.
Hallelujah.
We got a full sentence.
Hallelujah.
Wow. And he's sitting up. Look, it looks professional.
Almost.
Look at you all nice
needs a
and
haircut.
proper and everything.
With
Hey.
arms wide open.
All right, now you tell us your take that you've been trying to get out for this entire show.
Did we
What
just keep
take?
talking over you?
What
Any
we
of them,
talk-
because we didn't hear not a one.
Oh, the fact that you think that Darby Allin deserved to be TNT champion.
No.
He doesn't.
All right.
Actually,
He's had it-
I'm
he's
gonna
had it two
ask
times.
this. I'm gonna ask this, and every time you say something I think is stupid, I'm gonna roll my eyes. Ready? Why should Darby Allin be TNT champion?
Because he's one of the pillars of AEW, and he's a
changed his face.
homegrown. He's a fucking AEW not born, but bred talent. Why shouldn't he be TNT champion?
So I can name about 100 other people who should be there, get an opportunity before he gets his third.
Okay, ready? Okay, so you asked me a question. I get to answer this one now. Why shouldn't he be? Because nothing he can do is believable for him to beat the current TNT champion, the previous TNT champion, or I don't even remember who the TNT champion was before Wardlow. Oh, it was Scorpio Sky. He wouldn't have beat Scorpio Sky. There's nothing in his moveset that is even the slightest bit realistic to make me believe he could beat one of these big motherfuckers. Yeah, he's a pillar of the company. Sure, whatever the fuck that means, because we see how much they gave a fuck about that. It took them 3 years to put the belt on MJF, who was making them the most money of all the pillars. He's a homegrown AEW talent. Outside of him winning matches, he fucking shouldn't. They've done nothing for him. Why the fuck did he beat Lance Archer? Makes no fucking sense to me. Why the fuck has he been able to beat half of the people he's beat? Makes no fucking sense to me. He's had one win in the last year that I could actually believe. That was when he beat an old, decrepit Jeff Hardy and some fucking weird ass stipulation match. There's no good reason on the face of this planet why Darby Allin should be TNT champion anytime soon, especially when you have guys like Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Miro, and Powerhouse Hobbs in the picture, who should definitely have that title more than he should. And the least deserving of all of those guys, in my opinion, is actually Samoa Joe because he's already an established star. It should go to one of the other 4 guys that I mentioned.
And he's already holding another television championship.
Yeah, and he's already holding another television championship. Darby Allin being TNT champion does nothing but make me want to turn the fucking channel. He's not going to make you any fucking money, and he's not going to put on any actual match that's even remotely believable. Because like ABJ said earlier, he's just going to throw his body into you, and that's his entire moveset. Nothing against.
Well, unfortunately, he will make you money because fans are into him. I just don't understand why. But here, I'm gonna throw something at Alex real quick. Right, you're a booker, right? That's your whole gig. You book for a company. All right, so I want to book a guy who's 110 pounds. Right, he's really cool. He paints his face, jumps up high, shit. And I'm gonna team him up with a guy who's like 70, but he was good back in the day, right? And then they're going to fucking just together squash a stable of people, right? Should that stable go on to win the titles, their next rivalry out? After they just lost to a 110-pound guy and a 65-year-old?
It wasn't
They should go and beat the world champions?
It wasn't just a 160-pound guy and a 65-year-old.
Who else was there?
The Redeemer.
Oh, when he showed up one time during the entire feud and they've never seen him again?
Yes.
I think he should have
The entire feud when 2 guys beat up 3 with a manager and he smoked the whole stable. You think that stable should now go on to beat the trios champion?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a great booker.
You're smoking fucking crack.
You really don't think?
Hey, so real quick, because I want to end this because Mick brings up a really good point. It's 1 p.m., guys.
And go to bed, Mick.
What do you mean it's 1 p.m.? It's 6:02 p.m.
It's 1 a.m., Mick.
Yes,
It's actually 12:02 a.m.
Listen, Mick
not
made a typo, guys. You knew what the fuck he meant. Okay.
Mick wants to go to bed. Shut the stream down.
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
Mick could just go to bed and we can continue to point out why Axel's thought process is bullshit.
Now, I am going to defend Axel here because somebody brought up a really great point. Now, ABJ, I know your logic. I've heard it. Dustin, I've heard your logic and everything. If you guys were booking back in the 90s, Rey Mysterio would have won 5 matches.
No, because Rey Mysterio actually did
Mysterio
something that was
No. We're doing big guy versus little guy stuff, right?
Yeah, we're basing it off of moveset. That's our entire criteria. We talked about this earlier. Rey Mysterio did something that made sense. He used his speed to chop down the bigger guy, get him to lean over the fucking ropes, and then with all his little might, smack him in the face with both of his feet. I don't care how big you are. When you catch somebody's shin bone to your fucking nose, it's hard to just not do anything about that. That shit hurts.
Back in the 90s, we did get.
So, Dustin, I'm talking about in the 90s. I'm talking about in the 90s before you were born.
I was born in 99.
Kevin
so
Nash.
I know. That much
I know. Kevin Nash was 7 foot tall, and Rey Mysterio wasn't doing the 619. Rey Mysterio didn't do the 619 until he debuted in WWE. And he beat.
By 99, didn't Rey Mysterio already beat the Big Show?
Rey Mysterio got fucking pinned,
and he beat Kevin, or he wrestled Kevin Nash, lost to Kevin Nash, or lost. They lost that tag team match, and Rey lost his mask, and then Rey faced him without a mask and beat him. So, like I said, I just. You know, the big guy, little guy.
Will Darby Allin ever be in the talk of a Rey Mysterio in his wrestling career?
Ever. He won't. But no. So what was Rey's finisher in the 90s?
Hurricane Rana.
Yeah. Or he would jump off the top rope and catch you in either the Hurricane Rana or like the sitting splash deal.
DDT.
Okay. Then, he probably would have won like 5 matches. But Rey that I grew up on, yeah, he would have won more.
You grew up when Rey was on the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grew up when he's gone to
I grew up when Rey
Lucha
snorted an 8-ball before he
Triple
went out to the fucking ring and just zoomed all across the fucking ring like my dog just zooms across the
I watched
backyard.
Rey Mysterio when he was 82 pounds.
Go back. Go back and watch some of his
Yeah.
early stuff from WCW. His stuff from like his feud with Chris Jericho in WCW.
Yeah, I just like Darby strikes, Darby's moveset, like nothing that Darby throws in a match, like makes me think. Like the only thing Darby's character has going for him that just I don't grasp with as a wrestling fan is the fact that he just takes a beating longer than you can give one out, then you get tired and he capitalizes on it. That gets boring to me.
Agreed.
Oh, you know who else has that moveset that
agreed.
bores the fuck out of me, and everyone thinks she's the best female on the planet? Sasha Banks. 90% of Sasha Banks matches are her getting beat up, and then she does 14 attempt roll-up pins, and then hits her backstabber finisher, and she wins. Watch a Sasha match and tell me I'm wrong.
Can we not discuss
She throws in
that?
a couple meteors.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Not with Dustin, because Dustin is my co-host for the time being until Darby wins. Until Darby wins the TNT Championship.
You're up,
and then
Hunter.
Axel will have to be my Axel will have to use his wife's laptop to be my co-host. I've gone through more fucking co-hosts than Regis Philbin did in the early 2000s.
No, you've gone through more co-hosts than Darby Allin winning some titles.
You've gone through more
That
co-hosts.
should be a
than
bit.
WWE
Every
has
time Darby wins a title, you have to change co-hosts.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Anyways,
He'd be on the same amount of
we're gonna
co-hosts. I'm pretty sure he has.
We're going to start with Scott. And Scott, what was your favorite part of the event tonight?
I think the first two matches were the best part of the show. The first two matches were the best part of the show. That's
Hunter De Leon.
Yes.
What was your favorite parts of tonight's event?
Like I said, has to be Hook versus Balaam. Again, it's great to see your friends get some national exposure on national television.
I like
It's
how
a big
Axel's
deal.
taking a tab. Anytime from someone from Long Island's on TV, his cock is fucking rock hard.
Also, Viva el Animal. That's Balaam.
Tom from the 167, man. I appreciate you joining. Looks like he's joining on Mr. Midwest's stream. ABJ, favorite part of tonight?
Favorite part of tonight is...
I know you've got at least one.
The favorite part of tonight is clearly, hands down, the fact that I am 4 subscribers away from 400, baby. Let's get ABJ to 400. Fuck AEW. They can suck my dick. I'm out of here.
Oh, shit.
We got
I can't with you, motherfuckers.
I fucking love ABJ. ABJ is my spirit animal.
Oh.
Everybody loves ABJ.
Who doesn't love ABJ?
Alex, favorite part of the night.
My favorite part of the night.
When he actually
on
got on his
AEW,
laptop.
you son of a bitch.
When he actually got on his laptop. I changed my answer. When he got on his laptop.
My favorite part of the night was probably the side by side of Matt Jackson and the Brutalizer, and then Ray Fenix getting One Winged Angel through the table.
Wow, what a shocker. Alex picked a fucking elite moment. Wow. Oh, I am so surprised.
Nice shirt, by the way, Alex. I dig it. I dig it. Dustin, final thoughts on your favorite parts of the event.
The first match, solid. I mean, wasn't a terrible show all around. My favorite parts would probably be the Danielson match and the Ricky Starks promo.
That promo sucked.
What? Get him out of here and make him go away.
All right. So my favorite parts of the night were the opening match between Brian and Ethan Page, and then the Elite against the Bucks. I thought both of those matches were damn good for tonight. I hate it because I saw it and I was like, oh shit, something legit just happened. And then I started to read it and I fucking realized, son of a bitch, dude. Anyways, those are my two favorite parts of the night. The Elite and then the Bryan Danielson match. Rampage, we're going to see Orange Cassidy against Trent Beretta for the All Atlantic Championship. We're also going to see Jade Cargill against Kiera Hogan. We're going to see Swerve Strickland versus Wheeler Yuta. And we're also going to hear from Jon Moxley and Jamie Hayter on Rampage. I'm sure you guys will watch it, and I'm sure you guys will tell me how awesome that will be. And I
I can
cannot
tell
wait.
you how awesome it was now.
No.
That's cool.
Not tonight.
I do have a question though. Why in the fuck is the women's world champion on fucking Rampage and not on Dynamite?
Because they want people to watch Rampage.
Then put on a good fucking show.
They're trying to do that with Rampage now. They want to try and build it back up
For 2 weeks, and then for 5 weeks, so they'll not do shit with it. Anyways, beyond the point, this is the AEW Dynamite post show, not the fucking AEW Rampage post show. So, with that being said, gentlemen, I appreciate all of you joining tonight. I am going to, one by one, slowly get rid of you fuckers.
So that's how you feel about me. Okay.
I use the term fuckers with endearment. I love you guys. But you motherfuckers have kept me on here for almost 3 fucking hours talking about a bunch of bullshit. Not even talking about AEW Dynamite. So with that being said, Dustin, do you have anything else to close us out with tonight?
I love you, ABJ. You're my favorite. Aside from Chase, I love Chase too, but I love you, ABJ. Thank you once again for having me on, man. It means a lot. It gives me something to do. But yeah, it's about that time, boys.
Yep, we appreciate you having coming on. Hopefully,
stay tantalizing.
Anyways, hopefully Darby doesn't win the TV championship or the TNT championship, so you can stay on here. Also, hopefully your wife wasn't watching the show. Probably not, since she doesn't like wrestling, so she didn't hear me, because that's always an awkward situation when you run your mouth on stream and then you got to go back to the bedroom and deal with the repercussions of it. So
I will let you
stream,
know if I get yelled at tonight because of you. I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can send me a picture and be like, "Thanks, fuckhead. I'm sleeping on the couch." Anyways, Dustin, if you have nothing else to add or to follow up with, I am going to pull the trigger on tonight right before 3 hours. So for my co-host Dustin, Mr. Midwest, as you all know him, for myself, CR Media. As usual, we appreciate you guys joining the CR Media AEW Dynamite post show. And as always,
it's a beanbag chair, by the way, ABJ.